And welcome everyone to this week's episode of A Tale of Terror, our Deadlands classic and Deadlands Hell on Earth classic saga. When we left the intrepid posse last time, it was the Wasted West posse of 2094, where they had been in the middle of a fight against a uh, well, basically, the only way you really call it was be an abomination of some sort of nasty, evil, biological fly type creature, posing as Desmona or Desimone, if you prefer, Desmona, a bioscientist from before the war. Um, when we left last time, we just finished off a round, and Taylor Swift, our doomsayer, had started a nuke. Now, we need to clarify a few things, Taylor.
Pretty sure our Tay Tay's last name isn't Swift, but
Sure, we can go with that.
Oh, sorry, it's not. It's Storm, it's not Swift. Sorry.
I did this on purpose to
Yeah, thank you.
screw with
You've confused
the
me.
GM.
Taylor Storm, not Taylor Swift. Sorry, Taylor. Um, um, the revised Deadlands rules don't use speeds anymore, weapon speeds anymore. Okay, they don't use it for anything. They got rid of it. So the nuke does not have a speed of 2. Nothing has a speed of anything. So it goes off instantly. Okay, that's the first thing you need to remember, Taylor.
Sorry, repeat.
I said the revised Deadlands classic the revised Deadlands classic rules. They got rid of all the speeds, weapon speeds.
but
All right,
there's still spell casting.
speed. No, it's not.
Really?
Actions, yes, but not speeds. All right.
Huh.
Yeah. So um, the
So it doesn't take rounds anymore.
so it doesn't take rounds. It goes
It
off
might take
instantly.
multiple actions.
Yeah, well it takes one action. I cross referenced it earlier. I spent a while doing
Cool.
that last time. So it goes off instantly. The nuke. Okay, not you don't have to worry about it. It's just an action. Okay, or 2 actions to be accurate. To be accurate, um, as opposed to 2 rounds. Okay,
Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah. Makes sense.
right, cool. So that's that one. So we have to remember that from in future. It's actions, not rounds. So the nuke actually goes off basically at the end of this combat round before we start this new one. Okay.
Okay.
So I need you to make me a targeting. I need you to make the roll for that because you haven't made that roll yet because we're waiting until it was actually going to go off. So that's
Okay.
that's a faith roll, isn't it?
Yeah, it says TN5, strain 5, speed 5, range 20 yards per faith.
Yeah, it's not 5. It's 2. Yeah, 20. Yeah, so certainly
Duration
within range. Yeah,
instant.
yeah. Yep. Okay, so if you just make if you make your faith roll,
Right.
that would be
Sorry.
great. That's cool.
Faith is
For you,
5.
5 or 6 for you. If it's not, it should be D12, wasn't it?
5
It's off.
spirit.
Yeah,
My spirit's a D12.
yeah.
So it's a 5D12 exploding.
5 exploding, correct.
Keep one.
Yeah, keep one. Keep the highest.
Hold up, what I do.
Sorry.
That didn't seem to work. The slash die, or am I just forgetting? Am I being stupid and forgetting like a space or something?
Slash die. Hang on.
There we go.
No, you must have it wrong.
User error.
That's okay. 20. So what's the target number?
5, I think you said.
5.
Yeah, target number 5, strain 5, speed 2.
Yeah. So target number 5. So that's one raise at 10, one raise at 15, one raise at 20. So that's an extra 3 on that. Okay. So I've already calculated base damage based on where everybody is and things like armor for walls and where people are standing and things like that. So, Doc, Oh, now what I haven't taken into account is individual armor.
Yes.
Now, having said that, all right. By the way, if we're unsure about this, nuke is basically like dropping a stick of dynamite.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, this is for everybody. Okay, and every raise is an extra stick of dynamite. So effectively, Taylor has just dropped 4 sticks of dynamite on Desmona.
Nice.
Okay, and it has all the rules for dynamite in terms of blast radius and things like that. Okay.
Yeah, I guess my big question is whether the damage is more like explosion damage or is it radiation energy type stuff?
It's explosion damage. It's explosion kinetic. It's hard to define, but in terms of your shield, it's more kinetic than it is radiation, but it's caused by radiation.
Oh, good. Then reduce another die type for me, please.
Right. Now, hang on a sec. Let me just before we go any further, I'll let you reduce your own die types. Okay. If you are wearing armor, because of the confined space it's in, okay, it's got to be total full body armor because there's going to be reflections back and forth and all sorts of things. So if you only got armor to part of your body, it's not going to be good enough. It's got to be a total body armor in this case.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe you're still okay, Doc, because yours
Yes.
is a full shield.
Yes.
I don't know about anyone else.
I think my bodyguard might cover that.
Yeah. Is it a diary? Well, I said I'll let you. If bodyguard would because it's a full body. It's a full body. It's a full suit. It's a completely. It protects from any direction, right?
Yeah, Sarge has got a Kevlar vest and a helmet, so that's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work for Sarge. And I don't know if anyone
Sorry,
else
it's
has
called
got.
force field, not bodyguard. Bodyguard is
Force field. Yeah. Okay.
short
So
leg.
yeah. So again, you're probably protected too. But I'll let you guys. I'll give you your base damage. You guys can take the armor off as we go through. Okay, that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, no
Okay.
problems. Yep.
So you're looking at 60-10 Doc. Now that takes into account the fact that the walls are there. You're partially covered. It's coming through the glass windows and things like that. So there's a bit of glass shrapnel as well, which won't affect you
Yep.
because you've got your thing on. But that's why. So you're up for 60-10 damage, and whatever your armor does to that.
Yep. So that's just one die reduction, so 68, which is
68
still going to hurt real bad.
Yep. And now this is massive damage, by the way, as well.
So how do we do that? Is that roll?
So what you do is you roll the damage to see how many wounds, to see how much damage you take total.
Oh, I hate you guys.
23. So divide that by 6.
Divide that by 6.
Round down.
Uh-huh. So, yep, 3.
So you take 3 wounds randomly allocated to your body. So 3 1d20 rolls. The d20 rolls the location of the wound.
Now, I think in this... yeah, my light armor doesn't cover my head, so that's not going to do any -6 to that, is it?
Well, it might because if you take a head wound, it will come off. It will. No, it won't. No, not for massive damage. No.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So that's fine. So 3 wounds, and I'll roll 3d20 targets. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So and take the damage from where you need to. So it's an arm hit. It's an arm hit, and an upper torso and a lower torso hit.
Left
and
arm.
Sort of left arm.
Okay, cool. I'll chip.
I don't know if you want to
chip all that away. Yeah.
You want to chip all of it away?
Yep.
Okay. You still take 3d6 wind.
Oh yeah, because they're individual bits. You got
individuals. Okay, so you
Yep.
still take 3d6 wind. Okay. So I'll let you handle that. The next person is Jesse. Now you've got some protection from wall and glass and things like that as well. So you're taking 60-10 damage as well, mate. Unless you've got armor of some sort, full body armor of some sort.
I don't believe Jesse has any armor.
No, neither do I. But I was making sure you are aware of the options. Okay, so 21 wounds. Divide that by your size, which is 6. So, sorry,
7.
21.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
so
say Jesse cannot be size 6, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's really...
it's size 7. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the math. He gets 1 on each arm, and
User in your
goodness.
channel timed out.
Ah, wow.
What
Okay,
I
happened?
think Matt died.
Matt died. I'm like, he's unusually quiet.
I was like, he's really thinking hard. Did you all get kicked from the app too?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
his internet died.
So I took a hit on each arm and 1 on the upper torso, I believe.
Yeah, that didn't even show up for me. Your location rolls.
User entered your channel.
Hello.
yeah, I'm back. Don't know what happened then.
Turned it on and off.
No, I didn't actually. I didn't touch it. I don't know, so I don't-
Then a 5 and a 6 on the 2 arms.
Yeah, okay. So you know what you're doing there. You've done all that. You got the,
I'm going to chip those 3 wounds away.
all right, that's fine. You still need to make those 3d6 wind.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
No, it's okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that was unusual. I don't know what happened then.
I think this is just Taylor wanting to convert us all to her cult by giving us all mutations.
Is that the case, Taylor?
We're a good cult. We're nice and friendly.
Marvelous. 13 damage.
13 wind.
Oof.
13 wind. Max is up for 6d12.
Lordy.
Unfortunately, she's got very little cover at all. Hang on, sorry. Yeah, that is Max.
Sorry, what was the damage on her? 3d12?
No, 6d12. Yeah. Taylor?
I'm so glad I went into the freezer before that went off.
Yeah, I bet you are. Taylor,
Yep.
I think atomic blast might be might be an idea for your next miracle, don't you?
The one that's not as strong.
The one that's not as area of effect. Yeah,
It was K1, right?
it was K1. Oh, hang on, it's damage. Hang on,
Wait a minute. No, it's definitely not.
Okay, so that's
Hang on.
10, 30,
40, 38.
47?
Oh, lordy.
Okay, well, hang on. We got that means Jesse, you're going to have to recalculate. Yeah, no, it wasn't K1. It's just exploding. But Doc, you're going to. You didn't. Yeah, no, you did yours right. No, it wasn't K1.
Yeah, no, I did mine right. That's fine.
Yeah, one there.
47.
Cool. 47
divided by 6 is 7.
7 wounds to various locations on the body.
Do you want me just to roll 7d20 or?
Yeah, let's roll 7d20. We can just read them off. We don't.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it adds them up. We just read them off the screen. Okay, first one's a leg hit. So you'll need to roll a d6 for that. Actually, the first 3 are leg shot. There's 4 leg shots there. So roll me 4 lots of d6, will you?
Almost a maim.
They are 1 left leg and 3 right leg wounds.
Yep.
Max is definitely going to pass
There's 2
out.
lower guts. There's 2 lower guts.
That's 6. So where's the other one?
And the last one's an arm wound, so another d6. A right arm.
All right, that's I think given Max only has 1 red chip, we might just try to get rid of the 3 to the right arm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right leg was surely.
Right leg.
Sorry,
it was.
right leg, right leg. Yep.
Okay. Well, you've only got one red chip. That'll only get rid of 2.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is reduce the amount of damage in any one location, so she's not massively hindered.
Yeah, I figured
And it
that's
looks
what
like I
you're
can
going
really only get it down to 2 at the
for.
lowest. So I'll put a red chip back in the pot
Okay.
and take that down to 1 right leg.
Uh-huh.
But that still gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds.
Actually, gives seven wounds because it's secondary wind.
So even if you reduce the damage to 1 location,
Oh yeah. Oh
each
no,
7 hit.
Wind. No, that's right. No, that's right. 4. Yeah, that's right. 5d6 wind. So Max is probably going to go down here.
Okay, so 5d6 wind.
Yeah. And no explosions.
No explosions, but she does go down.
How far down? Because don't forget she might take an extra wound if she goes too far.
Yeah, so her base is 14. She's got 3 damage to it at the moment, so she's going to go to
That's 11.
negative 22, so not quite.
Yep. Okay. So she's certainly unconscious
Yes.
or winded. Same thing. Winded. All right. So that's you. So Sarge is up for 68.
Yep. Let me do that.
$31 divided by 6 is 5.
So close.
Sarge has no chips, so these I better not get 5 in the one spot. That's unlikely.
Maim's arm.
Just don't maim his head.
Maimed chest.
Okay, so
Oh.
what do we got? That's a head wound,
Yay.
2 lower guts, 2 upper guts.
Wait, actually, that's really close.
Yeah, it was actually very close.
Oh, yay.
Alright, cool.
And of course, 5d6. It should have been 5d, 66 damage. No, hang on, what am I saying? 5d6 damage. 5d6 wind. I'll get it right in a moment.
All right, everyone survived. We're good.
Not yet, everyone. Hang on. We haven't finished yet.
GG. Wow. Oh fuck. This better not put her into getting another guts wound, otherwise you just killed Sarge. Let's see. Base wind 16, no wind damage.
Ooh, lucky.
Woo!
By 6 points of wind.
Sorry, Lucas.
So you were saying Taylor? Six.
Yes.
Your base damage is 6d12.
60-12. Okay. So I looked at the force field, and it is just damage reduction. Now, I believe last time I had 2 raises, so it's 15 points of damage reduction.
Oh, awesome.
Right, so 6d12 minus 15.
Cool.
See, when I originally had you in the lab freezer, I thought you were in the freezer, and you would have had the benefit of the wall as armor.
Right. So that's 18 points then?
Yeah, I'll make that 18 points, which is 3
So
wounds.
3 wounds.
If this does nothing to Desmona,
2 lower guts and a leg, mate. Left leg.
2 lower guts. I will chip both of them away.
Right.
And so we were saying that armor then on those individual areas doesn't count for shit.
No, doesn't count. No.
So I will take 1. You said left leg.
1 left leg,
And
and
I'll chip
2d6.
both of the bodies away.
Yeah, and so that leaves you with 2d6 wind. 4 points of wind. Okay, now the one the lucky last, Taylor.
What am I rolling?
You're rolling 6d20.
Is this for damage for me or what? Or for
This
the
is damage.
attack?
This is damage for you. You're in the. You're within the first range.
She gets damaged by her own spell.
It's like throwing a grenade or a stick of dynamite. Yes, she gets damaged by her own spell.
Ah, I thought it
that
came
needs
like
to
out of her body.
Ouch.
that
Should
that
have
needs to
exploded.
yeah that 20 needs to explode, mate. So you need to roll another d20.
That's a good one.
Oh,
98.
divided by 6.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my calculator. Hang on. 98 divided by 6.
Oh lordy.
16.
Not do that again.
not that close. 16 wounds, my friend. How many chips do you have?
None.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. I think it's just goodbye to Taylor.
This wasn't even the one that's supposed to kill me. This was the medium one.
The
This
first
was
case
the,
of nuclear self-immolation.
Pretty much.
What was the one that I was supposed to? This isn't even the big one that kills me, right? There's a bigger nuclear one.
Now this is the biggest attack you can do.
No, well, no, there's a bigger one than this. Are you sure we're doing the right one?
We're doing the right one.
Because there's nuke and then there's a bigger
Atomic-
one.
No, it's atomic blast and then nuke.
No, there's a third one that I don't have.
Oh, there might be a third one, but as I said, this is the nuke. This is the one you're taking.
I'm just making sure you're not like doing the wrong
I'm
one.
not. No, I'm not. Yeah, I understand why.
Because there's another one that blows. That's like the last.
Yeah,
Where-
I'm doing the
where
right
is it?
one, mate.
Okay, what am I doing? 90. What is it? How many?
What did I say?
I don't know.
16.
16.
The best that you can hope for is to end up with no arms and no legs, but
16
still
each
be
one?
living.
16 wounds.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm doing 16 20s.
Yeah,
16 d20s. They don't need to explain though.
Yeah. 1 gizzards. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just a wound. 2 gizzards. 1 head. Legs. Oh dear.
I count 6 body wounds.
Yeah, so do I. All right, let me just go through and check something here. I'd rather not kill you off at the start of the game.
Well, I, to be fair, I don't think this was your doing, Matt.
Actually, it's 8 body wounds.
Yeah. There's at least 1 head wound there.
This wasn't supposed to be even the attack that was like the suicide one.
Well, it was.
was
You were
supposed
too.
to
You got too close. Okay.
Yeah. Dynamite in confined spaces. I thought we'd learned this lesson already. Apparently not.
Well, your last lot did it. Yeah. Let me just run through here. It is 8 body wounds, is it?
I think so, yeah. 6, 15, 18, 10, 4, 17, 5, 17, 6, 10, 7, 18, 8.
8, right? Oh, fuck. I'm just...
Hang
So...
on. I'm just looking something up before you go doing it. By all means, continue your thought, but don't enact it yet until I finish doing what I'm doing. Okay?
Yeah, I was just looking at... I couldn't even give enough chips to make that go away. I've got 3 blues and a white, and that's not enough.
No, you might be able to pull you might be able to pull it as a group.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
someone.
even if I tried to give you, I've only got 2 whites.
Well, it's only one white, so that's one.
Although I got two whites and a red, so could I spend the whites to give a red?
Both of them, yeah, you could.
So if I gave 2 blues and other people paid the 6 bounty point cost in chips, then that would even out, and it would work.
Oh,
I don't know if that's how that works.
yeah. Well, it's a grey area. I mean,
I'm just trying to rules
I
lawyer
know,
a way
I
to
know,
Taylor
you're
not
a double
dying.
zero. As I said, just give me a second. I'm just looking something up.
Looking for a loophole.
Yeah, basically, I'm looking for a loophole.
We don't have Gabs around to rewind that mistake.
Can't do a teleport here.
Do you have a sleeves card?
I did at one point. What happened to that?
I think
Right now,
Use it?
right now, combat tracker's off. Right?
No, it's on.
Because no one has cards.
No, because we're right at the end of a round. And yes, Jesse's got a card, and Walksfar's got a card.
Sleeved? I don't. Why don't I see
Sleeved.
cards? Oh, they're
Because
sleeved.
you won't see their cards. You only see your own cards.
Is that a card in my sleeve?
Nope, that's the
What?
icon.
Oh, that's the icon.
That's just the icon for a sleeved card.
All right.
I've got. I have no sleeved card in this combat tracker.
You're doing mine. Shut your combat tracker down and
I'd-
restart it.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Possibly.
Nope, still got none.
Well, according to me, you've got one. You've got a. You've got
Yeah,
one. 'Cause I've got you
I
here.
remember having one, but I don't see it here.
I don't know why. I've got it at mine. I've got it on the master. I've got it on the master list.
I'm reluctant to start clicking buttons because it'll draw cards and things. And,
Yeah, don't click buttons. Just trust me, you've got one.
okay.
You've got teleport, have you, Taylor?
Yeah, I have the one where. Hold up, let me pull it. Sorry.
Let's see if we can rules law our way out of this.
Quantum leap.
Yeah.
Quantum leap is one of the most impressive miracles. Blah blah blah. Fading
Yeah.
green. Blah, 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 bolt of energy. Then doomsayers. Travel instantly to another location. Up to 10 yards away per faith level. They have to be able to see the area they're reassembling their atoms.
Didn't you cast this explosion? So I don't know. You're like mid your own action, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
I don't know if you can use a like interrupt yourself even if you did have a sleeve card. We could maybe retcon if it was anybody else than the caster, I would imagine.
No, it's not a matter of retconning it as such. What I'm let me just think about this whether this would actually be available as a possible last minute last ditch effort type thing. You've been together for at least 12 months. Sometimes even some of you even longer. So you certainly know everybody's strengths, weaknesses, and intentions, things like that. All right, here's what I'm thinking. This is complex and expensive.
Mm.
If, if, how's this sound? If Jesse had a green chip or the equivalent in um, in other chips, actually, if Jesse had two green chips or the equivalent in other chips, because Jesse and Taylor have been together for such a long time, relatively speaking, and because of something else which I'm not going to tell you about because I don't want to give massive amounts of campaign plot away, then by spending those two green chips, Jesse, I might allow in this one instance for Jesse to um, use his sleeved card and transfer it to Taylor for Taylor to then teleport herself not out of the blast radius completely, but certainly back towards, for example, back towards 6, and so um, only be rolling 60-12, not 60-20. But I don't think Jesse's got that many chips, has he? Has she?
I think I have exactly that many chips.
Oh, do you?
I think some GM like looked into the chips before saying actually two green chips.
No, I'm thinking about what a green chip can do, and it basically it'd have to work something on the lines of this: is that it wouldn't
There are no green chips.
there are no green chips. This is why the thing, but I mean, it'd have to work something on the lines of somebody giving Taylor the green chips to pull her ass out of the fire with the help of Jesse's card. So it doesn't have to be Jesse's chips. It just needs to be 10 points worth of chips coming from somewhere.
I guess the question is, wouldn't it be cheaper to give Taylor enough chips to avoid 4 wounds?
Yeah, that might be way too. So it's up to you guys how you want to do it. I'm just coming up with options for you.
How much does it cost to chip away 8 wounds? 4
One,
chips?
one white chip per wound, but it's going to cost these guys an extra white chip or the equivalent per wound to pass those chips over to you.
Yeah, it will cost 8 bounty points worth of chips to get your 4 wounds off to make you not die.
The result, though, is that you have a very wounded
Person.
Very
Taylor
wounded person.
versus a potentially less wounded Taylor.
Yeah. Don't forget, you could still die.
The wind damage multiplier.
Well, it depends. It depends how many. Well, wind damage might do you. It might do you in too. That's the other thing. So.
And a bad explosion on the teleport, you could still die.
Yeah,
less likely, but there's certain way to not die.
It's a crapshoot either way, guys. Basically, effectively. So, let me see. Let me just count these up.
Well, I'm not the one with the chips making the decision.
No, that's right. You guys talk amongst yourselves and come up with a decision how you want to do it.
Well, I can give 2 reds. That would take away 2 wounds.
Yeah, and I can give 2 blues.
That'll take away 5 wounds total.
That's where we needed to get to, right?
I believe so. If that's what you guys want to do.
So sad about losing 6 bounty points.
Yep.
But it's alright. I guess at least nobody dies if this baddie doesn't get injured by this.
We threw the kitchen sink at it.
Well, I don't know about you.
I don't know if something was implying to me that massive damage on something like this should work, but at the same, mostly because like our small
Right,
hand.
I'm throwing these
style
2
wouldn't work.
red chips back in the pot.
Yeah, I'm
All
throwing
right.
the blue ones in there.
All right. Well, don't do anything else then. Just hold on, guys. I'm still counting up wound locations. Right. So we've got. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gut wounds, as you said. I've got 2 leg wounds. I've got 2 arm wounds. There's another leg wound. And another leg wound. And a head wound. And another leg wound. Yeah, I've got 16. So that's 8 and 5 is 13 and 2 is 15 and 1 hit. Right. Okay. So I'm assuming we're getting rid of 5 of the gut wounds.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, I'll get rid of 4 of them because you could lose a leg here. Well, so Taylor,
Yep.
roll me 5d6, please, mate.
Shit. Well, that's kind of unlikely.
What?
I'd have to hit all evens or all odds, right?
You'd have to hit all evens or all odds, yeah.
Which didn't happen.
So you've got 2 evens and 3 odds.
Their legs.
Hang on. I've got it. I'm right. Right. Leg right. 2. I need you to roll me another 2d6, mate, for your arms.
1.
2. 1 each.
Oh, good, because I already have 2 to one of my arms. Oops.
All right. So at the moment, you've got 4 gut wounds, 3 left leg, 2 right leg, 1 left arm, 1 right arm, and 1 head. And you've got 1 wound to take off somewhere.
Oh, lovely. I already had pre-existing head injuries. Okay. And what?
So 4 gut wounds,
Right.
3 for your left leg,
Sure.
2 for your 2 for your right leg,
Sure.
1 for your left arm,
Right.
1 for your right arm,
Right.
and 1 for your head.
Right.
Right, and you've still got the ability to take one of those wounds away.
Would highly recommend the guts because of the wind damage you're about to take. Just
Yeah,
calling it.
I'll do the guts. I have 3 in the guts.
Okay. Right. Now, so that's 13d6 wind. No, that's not right. Was it
What?
16 wounds or 18 wounds?
There was 16 wounds, but if they pile up on the same spot, we said that you only and you've chipped some of them away. It's only the actual wounds you've taken.
Yeah, I know. It's only actual wounds, but I mean, it's a 16 total. Less 5 is 11. 11d6. $11d6. 47 wind. What is your wind normally?
My base is 24. Oof. I have 14 right now.
Okay, so hang on. Let me just pull my calculator back up again.
I just have one extra one.
I think that's
one extra.
That's killed you.
Maybe not. Hang on. So you're 47. How much do you have? How much do you have left? Did you say?
I have 14 damage right now, so I have 10 wind left.
10 equals that, and you got 24. You said.
Yeah.
Okay, so by my calculations, you take another gut wound.
Right, which brings me to 4.
All right, and you've got no wind left.
Roger.
Okay, and you've still got, and you've still, and technically you had another 9 points available before you took another gut wound. Right, so that's everybody on the same page about what's just happened. Shit.
I'm alive. I have 4 critical to the guts. It's good. Perfect
So,
play.
perfect play. Yeah. Don't think we'll be doing that again. Now, the good news, if there is such a thing.
Thank fuck.
Battle's over.
The massive cloud of flies that was Desmona has been dispersed. A lot of them are on the floor. Not all of them died though. All right, there are still some flies around, but they're scattered around the room, basically, around the lab and the freezer. Now, the freezer window's blown out, so's the kennel window. All right. The fridge and that behind you, Doc. The glass is shattered, but it has not fallen out of the frame. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Some of the vials have been knocked askew inside the freezer, but none of them have shattered. None of them are broken. Okay.
That's probably a very good thing.
Okay. And as I said, there are a few odd flies still floating around, but certainly not enough at this stage to cause major issues. So before I get everybody roll initiative, because we may not need to, what's everybody thinking about doing?
Making an impromptu flamethrower.
Making an impromptu flamethrower. Okay. Was that semi-serious or was?
I was considering if I could use the one of my tool tricks of the welder thing as a flamethrower, but I'm only mildly considering that for bug killing. I'll have to look up the rules.
I know. Well, you go look up the rules and see if you want to do it. Meanwhile, Jesse, what were you planning on doing at this stage?
Cowering in a corner. I don't really know. I'll go and see if. Suppose.
After picking yourself up off the floor, of course.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Think about it. 6. Any idea?
Look, if there's a way that I might be able to, like, say, go over and drag Jesse towards somebody who is, sorry, grab Taylor. She's our healer, right?
She's one of the healers.
One of the healers. All right. The other healer being Sarge or Doc.
Well, Jesse can lay on hands if he hasn't already used it on that person today. That's in terms of magical healing. I don't know if Doc's got any med kits.
Doc does have a med kit, yes.
All right. And Sarge might have a med kit. There are a couple of people with medical skill as well. But in terms of healing, in terms of magical healing, it was Taylor, and then Jesse can also lay on hands. Plus
So
plus if you can do anything. I don't know if you can. I can't remember if you can.
Not at the moment. So if given 6 would know this, of the
Yes.
party that's around the place, who would be the person that she would be most likely to try to be dragging Taylor towards?
Probably Jesse, I would believe.
Okay. Then 6 is likely heading towards Taylor, so that
yeah. By the way, Walk's far is unconscious. Well, out, down, as well.
Disintegrated.
Well, not disintegrated, just on the ground.
So, are these flies enough that we would be worried about eradicating them before the airlock is open?
Well, that's up to you to decide. It's not a swarm or anything. It's more like what you get at, say, at a picnic in Australia.
So stuff that we could probably swat ourselves.
Oh, it's probably too many. Well, it'd take you a while.
I'm just looking at this. I can make an 8-inch flame that does 3d10 damage, and if I was using that, I'd be killing flies with it like crazy.
Could do.
All right, cool. Well, I guess I would be running over to Taylor and applying my med kit, thinking that she's probably cactus.
Well, okay. As I said, that's that. Sarge is on the ground too. Not Sarge. Max is down too, isn't she?
Yes.
She's unconscious. Yes.
Sarge is unconscious and Max is unconscious. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we don't know about Sarge. Sarge's in the storeroom, so someone might want to go check on Sarge. Max, we can see from the doorway. So yeah. So what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I'm hearing is people are concerned about their comrades primarily
Yeah.
and getting them healed up or conscious or whatever, and not really worried about the flies at this point in time.
I mean, I'm keeping an eye. If the flies look like they're trying to swarm together again, and
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
something tells
Yeah.
me that if a person can turn into flies, they can probably turn back into a person. I'm watching for if it's turning back into a person.
Yeah, that's good. There are a lot of flies dead on the floor. Oh, and the lab's been wrecked, by the way. As it would be with you drop a couple of sticks of dynamite on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, I won't get people to. I'll let you keep your sleeved cards, okay? But we won't. I won't get you to roll for initiative right now. So if you guys, can you guys move your tokens? It's not. I'm not asking you to do it. I'm asking, can you do it? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't. It needs approval. That's what approval looks like. I might turn that off if I remember how to turn it off. Try it now. I think you might be right now. Yep, there you go. Okay. So Jess, what were you doing?
I'm gonna go see Taylor.
Okay. Well, you can move your token over there if you like.
Hey Matt, just so I'm reading this right,
Yeah.
it was three. So the blast was 60-20 because of the three raises, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. If you'd only just scraped it in, you probably would have been better off than getting all the raises. That one really is an artillery type attack. You know what I mean? Look by from what we've just seen. Yeah.
Well,
You don't
so,
you don't want to be nearby if you can help it.
so what's the other one the other one would kill me for sure? The one that's stronger than this.
Yeah, but I don't think there is one stronger than this. I think you're
Yeah,
getting
there is.
confused. You know, you
There's
can find if you can find words. I'm talking about I'm talking about atomic blast, which is the one under this one.
Yeah, no, I know that. There's one over this one too.
Yeah. Well, if you can find it, I can't recall it. Which is not to say it doesn't exist. It means I can't recall it.
I think it's on the other sheet. Hold up, let me look for it.
Yeah. Well, if you can find it, go for your life. That would be great because I'd love, But you're not thinking
Is
about getting
it
that
not
one next,
like
eh?
a swan song? I'm gonna blow myself up, like when D&D when you wizard breaks their staff.
Oh, Staff of Retribution Strike.
Isn't
I
that
actually,
that kind of thing?
yeah. I actually had
Yeah, I
some.
think it's
Yeah, I actually had
the other
somebody
one.
do that with a practically fully loaded wand of fireballs once. Although
Ooh.
you can't really do it. It's not in the rules, but it made the story. It literally was a last stand to keep a bunch of extra planar creatures away from the gate while everybody else escaped, and the player basically did a self sacrifice to pull it off. It was the climax of the campaign. Basically, it was a big, great, so it made a lot of sense, and the player was happy to do it, go out in a blaze of glory. So you know, you can't technically do that with a wand of fireballs, but I went, nah, it makes the story. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Go and get the story run. All right. So when you make your way over to Taylor, what are you doing, Jesse, and the others?
Well, if they're here now, I'm probably just getting out of their way. I was thinking we
Yeah,
were potentially still in combat and that
No,
she
no,
needed
that's
dragging
cool.
somewhere.
That's okay. Um, So Jesse, are you doing something, or Doc, you doing something, or
I will always be last resort healing because my healing's very expensive. But I'm happy to do it if it's necessary.
uh well, Jess, did you want to lay on hands or not?
Yes, although I think we should probably try first aid first.
All right. Was
Medicine
that
skill.
yes? Is anyone you've got medicine skill? Somebody else got medicine skill that's still up? I don't care who does it. I just know that somebody make the roll. If that's basically what I'm going for.
Yeah, Doc doesn't have any general medicine skill, sadly.
What about you, Six? Do you?
No.
Well, it's up to you, Jess.
Not to mention that I think general medicine's useless once the wound level's above 4, right? 1 to 3.
Generally, yeah, yeah. Serious one. You three them up. It's good for light and moderates.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, in that case, I guess we're in the late.
laying on hands. Well, now's the time to do it. I reckon, don't you? I mean, everyone's pretty banged up.
Yeah.
There's a, by the way, you may have heard this by now, Chris. I don't know, but certainly I know James, Yankee James has. There's a saying when you're talking about in the army and the military, talking about artillery rounds and mortar rounds. Friendly fire isn't. In other words, friendly fire is not friendly. It hurts just as much as enemy fire. Oh dear. So while Jesse's doing this lay on hands, is somebody checking on Sarge and Sarge and Max? I take that as a yes. So Sarge is pretty beaten up too, and obviously unconscious, or groggy. Like what the was that?
I will help Sarge back into the main room near where everybody else is,
Yep.
and ditto for
Cool.
Max. I'll just keep dragging bodies towards the center. I'll go grab Walk's fire as well.
Okay. So what's that? What's that, Jesse? Because I can't remember. You hands lay on hands is your stick.
Yeah, I think what is this level 3 wound I'm dealing with here?
The guts is level 4.
Okay, that would be TN11.
Well, you've certainly made your. Is that your TN roll?
Yes.
So you made the roll without a raise. Okay.
So every area gets one better.
Okay. Every area gets one better. So it takes the guts from 4 to 3. You're listening to this, Taylor?
Sorry, repeat. I'm in my own world here.
Yeah, that's why I pulled you. Jesse just laid on hands. Every wound area, every area reduces the wound by 1. So your guts 4 goes to guts 3.
Three,
Your head goes to and so on.
3, 0, 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay. So you've still got a serious gut wound.
Oh, I'm still serious. I have 3 to the gut.
Yeah, that's okay.
I have
You're
9
better than
wounds.
what.
I have 9 wounds overall now.
Yeah, but it's really only the highest one that counts for penalties and things like that. So okay. Is anyone? You are obviously back conscious again, or back on your feet more or less. Um, you've
Does
got.
can we assume this wind has gone away? Is combat over?
Well, it's yeah, basically it is. So the wind is you spend a 5-10 minutes or so. Everybody gets their wind back. I don't know whether Taylor wants to heal anyone, or I don't know whether Jesse wants to heal anyone else.
Yeah. Okay. I found the more powerful attack. It's ground 0.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You're not going to go for that one anytime soon, are you?
I'm just seeing how this one is even worse. This one does 10 d20 plus 1d20 per raise.
God.
Max would appreciate some laying on hands. Her heaviest wound is a heavy. It's 2
Oh,
points.
so you really don't want raises with this move. I'm learning.
No. I think I'll. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
hang on. Before you do that, from being an economical point of view, might it not be better for Taylor to go first if Taylor's going to do it?
Do what? Sorry.
Heal people.
Yeah, I can heal
Haven't-
people.
Yeah, well, that's what
Oh,
we're
cool.
talking.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Then yes, Mad Max needs healing, please.
Okay, hold up. Let me pull up how to heal again.
It's all right. Meanwhile, is anyone doing anything about walks far?
Yeah, I said I went and grabbed him.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, you did too. That table isn't there anymore, by the way, for obvious reasons.
Is Walk Far awake or is he dead?
Hey, so no, he's awake now. He's pretty banged up though.
Can I give you a series of searches because I'm pretty useless as a healer?
Yeah, what are you searching for?
Oh, just like around the place, so in the freezer, in the storeroom,
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
sure.
kennels.
Yep, okay, you do that.
So
Give
it's
me
just
those
a
rolls
It's just a faith roll versus target.
of the highest wound, isn't it?
Yeah. So just do a faith roll.
Well, hang on a sec. What's Max's highest wound level?
2 to the chest.
So it's target number. Wind is 3. Light is that's target number 7, I believe.
Is
I'm
it the, is it
Hey,
this
sorry?
is it the same as Gabriella's one where
I think it may be, but don't quote me on that. As I said,
Is it
Chris,
exploding?
it does. Chris, that target number, does it say anything about how the target numbers work?
Let's see. Yeah, it says
Because you've got it there.
Wind is 3, light is
Yeah.
5, heavy is 7.
Yeah, say target number 7. It sounds like it does work the same.
yeah,
How do
I just don't know whether the fact that Taylor has a -3 wound modifier right now counts as an addition
yeah.
to that.
Yes, it does.
What's this wound modifier?
Okay, well, if you're wounded, right, depending on what your heaviest wound is, you have a penalty to all your dice rolls. It's called a wound modifier. Now, you're currently seriously gut wounded, which is a wound modifier of -3.
I need to hit a
So
10.
So you've got to add you've either got to take 3 off your highest roll or add 3 to your target numbers. But that's what that -3 is in the corner of your wound diagram on your character sheet.
And this is
We're
why
really gambling here. If I miss, I think you get like a mutation or something.
yeah, screw this. Okay. Doc will set up his med pack and apply it to Taylor.
But
Okay.
what's life without a little one
Risk.
in 30% chance of a mutation?
30? That's quite high.
Right? What are the odds of that? If I don't hit a
30%.
All right.
No, I mean I might have to. I just guessed that. I'm trying to think. So 5d12, I have to hit a 10 or higher. That's 3 out of 12. That's a 1/4 chance on each one. Well, it's basically 5 times 3 is 15. What's 12
Yeah.
times 5? 15 over, what's 12 times 5? 60? What's 12
Huh.
over 60? That's your odds.
It's 1 in 5. 20%.
Yeah.
20% chance of a mutation?
Yeah, nice.
What's a little risk? 20% chance of a mutation.
Listen, I know you're supposed to be prophesizing, but I think that's going a little too far.
Yeah. So, yeah, you do you have it? You don't have any wounds, or obviously you don't have any wounds over 3.
No, three's the serious.
All right, good.
Serious wounds are the heaviest.
They're all gone. That cost me 4 chemical components and 30 GR. That
Okay.
is really expensive. But it's fine. Now you can go heal everybody without that horrendous
What's my
penalty.
win? 0? Oh,
Yeah.
now I don't have the penalty?
No, there's no penalty. No penalty because you've got no wounds. You've still got your strain. Your strain doesn't go. but you're back on full wind.
What's So when I do the is it exploding this faith roll?
Yeah, yeah. Almost every roll's exploding.
Oh look, guys, I would have hit a 12 and two 11s.
So 20. Yeah, so 22. So 7 and 5 is 12. One raise, two raise. That's three raises on your faith roll. How does that affect your healing?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, this is
Look
what you're
that
supposed
up.
to be learning, mate. This is
I don't
your
know.
character. You're gonna have to learn this stuff.
Let's see, it's new. Healing is the same. It's to glow with an irradiated life. Makes feel successful. The wound is healed. Failure when trying to heal a maimed wound means it's a permanent wound. It doesn't say anything for raises.
All right. Which one is it? Which miracle is it?
This is Touch of the Doomsayers.
It did say if you succeed, it heals, but
Yeah.
do you have to do that for every wound on each like zone of the body, or does it just heal kind of globally?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hang on.
I think it's like abs, and that means it's global.
No, it doesn't.
Ori.
Yeah. Um, where is it? If successful, the priest heals wounds in that particular area.
Where are you seeing that?
Oh,
I see it. Yeah.
Last half
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
third paragraph.
I'm reading it now.
Okay, so
Failure.
Max's chest is healed, then all guts is healed. Everything else she has is just a light wound, but there's three different locations. So I'm quite happy to take a back seat then and deal with
Well, hang
other
on.
people if I.
With the raises, it makes it worthwhile. It makes it having raises makes it worthwhile in just about all cases. So, um, I'm quite happy to say.
Well, I mean, if there's only wound level ones around, that puts quite in the realm of Jesse fully healing Max, so that's probably fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hang on a sec. So,
Okay, so I really rolled a 7d20 with that.
oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
So the nuke that went off was 2.5 times more powerful than it was on paper,
Well, that's because you got the raises
and the exploding die.
and the exploding dome. But that's the risk. That's the nature of the the thing. Look, how does this sound? And I'm not trying to give anything away here. I'm just thinking it through. Um, because it only heals one area, right? Why don't we say this? Um, for every raise, you heal another area to the same wound level. So if you go for if you've got two wounds to one leg and one wound to the other, and you heal the one wounded leg first with a raise, you only heal one wound on the two wounded leg. Does that make sense?
Yes, whatever you were so it would be incumbent upon you to look for the more difficult role if you think it's a possibility, because for each raise
Yeah,
over the more difficult one, you heal more zones. Okay.
exactly.
So I was going for a 7, and I got 2 raises over that.
So that
Yeah.
would
So
heal
well, no.
two other places to the same severity, which was heavy. I only have
Yeah.
three light wounds, so I would take away two of them.
All right, so you take away 2 of them. Does that sound fair to everybody with the razors?
Sounds fair.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
All right. So you still got a light wound to somewhere 6. Is that right?
Yeah,
Max.
my Max's right leg.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's you done. Okay. Who else is wounded?
Sarges.
What Sarge is?
4 guts wounds and a light
Ooh.
head wound.
All right. Well, you want to be careful with the 4 wounds because the bad news about this touch of the doomsayers is that loyal doomsayers, who Taylor is not, always warp the flesh. The patient is forever after ugly as sin, which is a -1 hindrance. Okay. Heretics, which is what Taylor is, heretics don't warp flesh unless the wound level is critical or maimed. That's 4 or 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jesse could be
But
up first.
well, if Jesse, I'm just thinking, if Jesse goes first, that'll drop it down to a 3, which means it won't be as ugly as sin.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Now, I don't know if you guys want to do that. I'm just simply pointing out
Gotcha.
how it would work. It's up to Jesse and Taylor and everybody else involved to do it. It's their,
We were so lucky for healing in Weird West.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
when was the last time you dropped 4 sticks of dynamite on yourselves?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, to be fair, if I had just had gotten a normal 3d20
Yeah, I know it would have been fine. I know.
and like 3 threes out of an 8. I got all high rolls too.
You did.
I got a 20, a 17, a 15, and a 19.
All right. So Jesse, are you going to do the lay on hands first?
Yeah.
Yep. Is that a yes or a no? Sorry.
Yes, that was a yes.
Yes. All right. Well, the target number, it's a critical wound, so I believe the target number is 11. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
Good, good.
So
Yeah, I
This
got
was-
lay on hands 4, so it adds 4. So
yeah, that's
it's
why the
actually
+4.
15.
Yeah, I can see it's been added in. Okay, so this was with Sarge, was it?
Yep.
All right. So Sarge gets 1 wound off every location.
Done. Now she's just got a serious gut wound.
So is that the only wound she's got?
Yep.
All right. So Taylor, if you do a serious gut wound, that
We're
was your
good. I
search
see
roll.
11s in there.
All right. So all the gut wounds go.
Cool.
Now, is anyone else hurt?
Walks fast, but I think that's everybody that I know of.
No, walks fast, pulls out his own med kit and heals himself.
NPC, way to go.
So no one else has got any wounds?
6 has got 1 to her right leg, but all good.
Yeah. Well, you could take the risk if you wanted.
I guess Taylor, you might enjoy this. You need to make me a TN6 spirit roll, please.
Now, why is that? Please. Ben?
And actually, maybe this doesn't affect Taylor, but anybody who uses my aid packs gets a mild exposure to G-rays and needs to make a spirit check to avoid a mutation.
Now I think you're immune, aren't you, Taylor?
Let me read that. I might be.
One of you, I think you can eat radiation. It's tolerance, I think it is. Yeah, tolerance. You've got tolerance. So that's the one I think you'll be looking at.
Oh yeah, I do have tolerance.
You'll need to make the roll.
Tolerance TN5. This is suited for tolerance allows the subject to ignore the effects of low level radiation for an entire day, even once the subject has passed the irradiation area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I just need to make a TN5 faith roll, or what's
Yeah.
what is it?
Yep.
Is it faith?
I guess mechanically, G-ray exposure is a little bit different to pure radiation because it's spirit damage as well as
Oh, it is too.
radiation. So I don't know whether that counts, but I think probably it
Yeah.
does.
Maybe not, because that's definitely radiation. Um, yeah, it's spirit. You're right. It's not radiation. It's spirit energy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Different
otherwise
type
it
of
would be
energy.
a vigor check. Um,
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. It is. It is. You do have to make that roll, Taylor. I'm afraid. Tolerance does not help.
I made it.
yeah, it should be easy. It's just
Yeah,
T
it's
and
easy.
six.
So I have two in spirit, but five in faith. I mean, it is spirit, right?
Yeah,
I use
Yeah,
faith so
yeah,
much.
it's spirit. Yeah.
yeah. It's spirit. Yeah, yeah. All right. So basically, everyone's healed apart from Six's leg wound, I believe,
Yeah, and one leg wound on max. I think we're happy.
and one leg wound on Max or something. Jesse, you take you did you if you take any damage? You took some damage, didn't you?
I chipped it all away, I think.
Oh, sorry, you chipped it all away. That's right. Chipped it all away. Speaking of chipping it all away, now that
Dry
we're out of
chips for the day.
yeah, you guys can draw your 3 chips for the session. Now that we're out of combat,
I got a white chip.
and don't forget it's only 1 chip for the
A
people who aren't
red
here.
chip. Two reds and a white. I don't see any blue chips.
They're in the pot, but you're just not drawing them.
3 whites. Son of a bitch.
I don't see any blue chips. That's it, huh?
That's it.
Yeah, and to put those components in perspective for my med pack, that was a $90 expenditure for that med pack in monetary terms.
Well, this
Yeah, well,
character. This is
yeah.
shoot. This is my poor character. I miss Dominic, who was rich. That was his one. That was like his one positive.
But it is fun because Archie has Dinero 5 and has, well, he doesn't have any money because he spent it all on his starting gear, but whatever.
So I've been noting those search rolls as you've been making them hacks.
Sorry, I was sneezing. What did you say?
I said I've been noting those search rolls of yours.
Yeah, I was going to say 10, 6, 9, 4, 5, 11 in each of the rooms.
Um,
Freezer kennel storage.
Yeah. Walks Far is particularly upset as most of the equipment has been destroyed or damaged beyond,
whoopsies. I think if there's, I seeing,
Yeah, we're all still infected. Just saying.
yeah.
Okay, so let me so while you guys have been healing up and keeping things like that, Six has been doing a thorough search of the area. Um, the
I
main
found these
laboratory,
things.
the main laboratories, there's still flies buzzing around. By the way, not a lot, but there are still flies buzzing around. They're not biting you though; they're just buzzing around. Um, so, I said the laboratory's pretty much been wrecked. The actual lab itself, and I said the freezer window and kennels, the kennel window have both been blown in. So there's not much really to recover in the lab itself. The animal kennel basically was empty and didn't have much in it either. The storeroom, on the other hand, apart from numerous pieces of equipment and bits and pieces, and a small, and that's a, by the way, that bottom room that's blocked off in the storeroom there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's just I'm not going. Let me demask it. It's just a bathroom.
Okay.
Um, there's quite a bit of gear in here, and when um, uh, walks far sees it, he's a little bit more mollified. But in that room, there's a couple of freezers, refrigerators, those two things next to the kennel there.
Mm.
There's alongside a long molded sandwich. right? There are two boxes. They're both marked. I'll type this out because I'm not going to try. Okay. Um, might help if I can spell properly too. Sorry, it's rather long. That's what it says.
Sweet. Anybody know what the fuck this means?
And everybody turns to look at Doc.
Yeah, let
Might
me.
be the cure we're looking for.
Hopefully. What kind of role would you want for that? I've got.
Or knowledge, obviously. Or one
Oh
skill or
yes.
another.
Would
Uh,
Max know anything with her Libby stuff?
Uh, maybe. Again, it'd be a knowledge roll of some sort.
Do.
So what science? It obviously it's a bio or a science or something like that type role, Doc.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I got chemistry. I got occult engineering, electrical engineering, and physics.
Chemistry is probably the closest. So there'd be a penalty to the roll, obviously. Um, yeah. Look. Do you want to spend any chips on that?
No, I don't really have any left after
Didn't you
having.
draw three?
Yeah, they're all whites.
Oh, oh, I see what you mean. Mm. Look, it's definitely biological of some nature. It's definitely a in relation to um, the disease because it's very similar in nature. Um, whether it's another form of the disease or whether it's a cure, you're not 100% sure.
Yep.
If you only got knowledge one in chemistry, have you?
Yep.
Bugger.
Yeah, starter
Um,
characters.
yeah, I know. I just yeah. Um, on the other side of the room, in the freezer, um, it's got filled with boxes and shelves, but uh, the really thing that catches your eye, six, is a cryogenic console about the size of a deep freezer. There are three racks of bottles. The first rack appears to hold large jars with what appears to be lab rat bodies, um, and they appear to have the familiar boils and the sloughing skin that is a sign of the
Hmm.
disease. The second rack holds a whole bunch of small vials, all labelled. Uh, there's a vial conspicuously. There's one. Sorry, the rack. There's a slot in the rack that is conspicuously empty, and you're pretty sure that the label on the vials that are there match the one that you found on the vial that the hikers had.
Oh, yep.
Right? And each of these vials contains what appears to be a couple of hundred small insects.
Do I
Okay,
recognize them as the same style of fly that's been buzzing around here?
you'd have to open up the cryogenic unit and take them out to find it to determine that.
Oh, yeah. I'll like inspect them more closely.
Okay. I take it you're putting on the cryogenic gloves that you find nearby.
Oh, sure. If I'm putting my hands into anything that looks cold, but I think I might be wearing gloves. Do they fit over like a big like welder's glove kind of things?
They're big thermal gloves, big welder's gloves, or big
Okay, yeah,
thermal.
yeah. So they'll fit over regular
Oh yeah,
gloves.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, look, they do appear to be a whole bunch of flies. They don't appear to be the same type of flies that are buzzing around. They appear to be a smaller species, but they do seem to be very similar to the flies that were buzzing around the nomad camp and the truck that they'd ambushed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
So how much do we know about the shit that went down at Judgment Day?
Well, most of you know.
Like, are we aware that the horsemen of the apocalypse are out roaming the land?
Um, I say you lot would be.
Right.
Generally, it breaks down as follow. If you're talking about the population of the general population of the wasted west, one third would have seen at least one of the horsemen at some stage. One third would have heard about one of the horsemen at some stage, and one third just don't believe it happened, never saw it, don't
Yeah.
believe it. I think it's a fairy tale or
Okay.
stress from the bombs.
I'm pretty
But
sure
you,
one of the horsemen is Pestilence, and this
yeah,
is
that's
probably
true.
his handiwork.
Mm. War, pestilence, death, and famine. You guys would be aware of it for a number of reasons. The librarian certainly, um, Doc for obvious reasons, which I won't go into. Taylor would have picked it up from her teachings. You would have picked it up definitely from the teachings you got it from. Max would have picked it up just in a general. Oh, Max is a librarian. She would have picked it up that way.
I I forget where it was, but there was a really good table somewhere of explaining what your starting knowledge occult meant for how much you knew about Judgment Day and what was going on.
Yeah, there is. It's
There
in
was
the.
somewhere, I can't remember where it was.
I know exactly where it is. It's um, actually I don't know where it is. I used to know where it was.
Yeah, I thought it was in the Companion's Guide, and I went there and didn't find it in the scan, so...
I thought it was in the main book. I could be wrong. Yeah, I must be wrong. It's somewhere around. There is one there. Basically, depending on your knowledge of cult, but most of you have got or should have at least
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
of points in
Yeah,
knowledge
yeah,
of cult.
so... yeah, level 1
Did you
knowledge.
find it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, level 1 knowledge. After the bombs fell, it triggered the Reckoning. The Reckoners are the 4 horsemen. So, yeah, I guess even level 1 occult does that.
Yeah, but as I say, that's for you. That's for you guys. But as a general rule, one third of the population has seen at least one. One third haven't seen them but believe it, and one third just don't believe it. That's the general breakdown in terms of macro demographics. Okay. So yeah. Now by the way, the third rack in the deep freeze also contains vials, but its label's different. Its label is that one.
And what's in it? Is it more liquid or more flies or?
No, they're not flies. They appear to be something bigger than a fly, maybe a small bee or a small wasp. Z, plural.
Okay.
I also need you to make me a vigor check, mate, too, please. Yeah, no problem. No worries. It's a bit chilly
In the cryo thing or in the freezer?
in the freezer generally. It's a bit chilly, but you don't want to spend days in there. Put it that way.
I will bring that file with the special label, the W Vesper thing, out to Doc.
One vial or the entire rack of vials.
Are they all labeled this?
That rack airing, yeah, they're all labelled that.
Sure. I mean, if they look different from
They
what
do.
I'm expecting, I'm bringing them out to
Why?
Doc, or if that's going to be too heavy to carry, I'll call Doc in.
No. It's a rack. It's like a you remember back in high school chemistry, we used to have those 12, 12 test tube racks.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's roughly one of those, or two of those side by side.
I'm
You
gonna be careful not to drop them.
know.
If there's a level table outside that's not been completely upended by a nuclear blast, I'll put them.
No. You
Okay.
could probably no. There's no table, unfortunately, like that. Not outside. It's all been
I'll
moved
place
around.
them on the floor
Uh-huh.
and squat down near them then.
So 6 has come out carrying some test tubes, some vials, and basically says, "Have a look at this, Doc." I assume.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What be this? Will this help us? Do you want to roll for max on any of this?
I don't know, Max. That's a pretty good roll, Doc. Look, W Vespa definitely it's a wasp breed of wasps. It's hang on, let me just minimise that down. You're pretty sure it's the biological uh, control for the flies.
Ah.
Biological control? Please explain.
As
You
in,
wanna ta- go
kind
for it.
like, I'll use the worst example, cane toads. Like this is what can go wrong if we release these wasps. They're probably eating the flies. It's just what happens when all the flies are gone. We'll have a wasp infestation instead. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Then maybe we can set spiders to kill the wasps.
Until we end up with horses.
And wriggled and jiggled and tickled
Chicken
inside.
insider. Yeah, I got it.
I guess Archie has no way of. He doesn't understand how this virus works, right? Like,
No, you'd certainly need some bio. You'd need some microbiology or some sort of yeah.
yeah,
You've got a scientist's idea.
And a lab that someone hadn't just dropped 6 sticks of dynamite in.
yeah.
You've got an idea. You've got an idea. I mean, the working theory you've come up with so far is that the flies are a carrier for the disease.
Yep.
Now, if as you assume the wasps are the control for the flies, and don't forget that Desimone originally was working for the military back before the war. It is logical to come to an assumption conclusion that you would want, if you're going to release a biological weapon, you'd want something to control that biological weapon without going full cane toad.
Yeah.
And considering it's been 200 years since the cane toads were first done, I think people would have learnt a little bit more about how to biocontrol.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the myxomatosis virus controlling the rabbits here in Australia. That's been pretty well contained in terms of, it hasn't jumped species or gotten away. So.
Yeah. All right. Well. Yep.
Are they even alive? They were in the freezer.
Well, some creatures, insects in particular, some simple creatures can actually survive freezing.
I mean,
There are some lizards that can do it.
I don't. I feel like if there was equipment to revive this in a nice manner, it's probably busted. So we probably our only chance is probably just letting them thaw out and see what happens. Um, I guess it would be good if there's some flies around here. Are the flies that are in here the same flies as the carriers? I can't remember.
Probably pretty close, but these flies aren't biting you like the carrier flies were. In fact, can I get everybody to give me a spot check, please?
Oh,
Yeah, and you may spend chips if you wish. Everybody, everybody.
I'm still looking
I'm
for
just
it.
getting
Looking
started.
for it.
Such.
Sorry, shouldn't hassle you.
whoa, sorry.
I'm assuming that should have been an exclamation point, not a one.
Yes. Oh dear.
You got five. You got five in spot, have you, Taylor?
Yeah, I really thought that one through this time.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else did.
I
Oh,
did.
Five.
I did. I just pulled
it's
that
keep,
shit
But I
cards.
don't have
yeah.
points to spend on it.
I know. It's only keep one, by the way, so it's only 11, not 31, but that's all right. Um, look, anyone who got a five or better, which is just about everybody,
Uh,
there seem to be more flies now than there were immediately after the nuke blast.
Bitch is recovering.
All
All
right.
right, guys, we're gonna have to do another one.
And everybody goes, no!
Is that what they said? I just heard a GM imply that that's what they said.
All right.
Role playing.
Jesse has a gun. He can't shoot your character in the head. Just saying.
Jesse's got a gun.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh dear. You might want to make that your theme,
It's for the
theme
greater
tune.
good.
It's for the greater good. Yes, you certainly get away with that being a Templar. Oh dear.
Come on, boys. I know you like the hot stuff.
Doc in the
Actually,
corner.
actually, you should have said girls because there's more girls than boys.
I know, right? There's two guys, and we all picked female characters. This will go.
And there's two guys, three girls, and a question mark.
War of it.
I could have said an it
Are they?
We're not
Or a
sure
thing.
what they
What
are.
pronoun? What pronoun?
Or a thing.
Pronouns are they using?
Why thank you thing. Oh, that reminds me. Did anyone see the trailer for the new Wednesday Addams
Yeah. it's pretty good.
series? No.
Yes, it looks pretty good. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
Right?
it's coming on Netflix. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Who's playing Wednesday?
Somebody everybody's very happy with. I can't think of
Yeah.
her name. Do you remember her name?
I don't. It's not Christina Ricci, unfortunately, which it makes me a sad panda. But she's still young and looks pretty much the part.
Yeah, she looks the part really well. In fact, when I first saw her, I thought it was Christina Ricci. Then I got a proper look at her. I thought, no, it's not. Apparently, Christina Ricci's in the show somehow. Catherine Zeta-Jones is playing Morticia.
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna
That's the
Ortega,
one.
that's who it is.
And Luis Guzman as Gomez, which is so good.
Yeah. I don't know who's playing Pugsley or Uncle Fester. Anyway, so yeah, I'm
You
looking
sure?
forward to watching it.
I almost made a mean joke. Never mind.
What was that?
Nothing.
All right. Yes, that's what's happening. So you've got a few more flies. You think you've got a few more flies flying around than originally. Everyone's pretty much healed up, apart from a slight limp in Six's case. And
Nice.
you've got a rack of you've got some a couple of boxes of blood serum, which maybe a cure or maybe another form of the disease, and you've got maybe a dozen vials of wasps that you are slowly thinking about defrosting, apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
What do
if
you
they
want to
look
do?
like they're coming to, if they look like they're coming to life, and the swarm of flies is getting bigger, and we think this is a control, I think we at least release one vial if they look like they're coming back to life. And worst case, we now have flies and wasps to deal with. Best case scenario, the control is does its job.
All right, what do you want to do about the cure slash extra disease?
Uh, take 20.
Take 20. Oh dear. I don't think there's enough there to take 20 with.
No, isn't that's the D&D mechanic of like you spend 20 minutes to get an auto 20?
Now you spend as much time as necessary to get an auto
Oh,
20.
okay.
All right, but you're constantly trying all the time, and I don't think there's enough whatever this stuff is to do that. So yes. So do you want to, for example, do you want to inject it? Do you want to drink it? Do you want to pour it out on the floor? Do you want to leave it alone? Do you want to dip your finger in it and shove it up your nose? Do you want to,
um, does it, the stuff that was near it or in the storage room, would we have
fridge?
seen any kind of like injection stuff?
Yeah, there's hypodermic needles nearby in the storeroom. There are hypodermic needles in the storeroom.
And is it blood or is it some kind of other serum?
No, it's some sort of other serum. Um, it's not blood. It's a pale yellow, like blood serum is. You've seen
Right.
blood serum
Okay.
before, haven't you?
Like a plasma.
Yeah, like plasma. Don't forget you've got the diagnosis machine.
Oh yeah, but does it also like it's not going to tell us
No,
how
but
much of this stuff to inject or whatever?
no, but the standard most of the for those of you who remember from before the war, most inoculations were in the realm of up to 5 mil.
Um, six will give it a go. Wait, yeah, I can't make Max do it.
Well, have you got medical? Have you got any medical training?
No.
I mean, you might want to get somebody with medical training to give it to you.
Yeah. I just mean I'll be the guinea pig for the
You'll be the
injection.
guinea pig. You'll be the guinea six.
The guinea six.
I think Jesse's the only one with actual medical training.
Oh, doesn't Sarge have or Max have some? I know Taylor does. I know Jesse does. First aid or medical, accounts. So who's going to inject 6?
Oh yeah, Sarge has general 1.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on Max.
I got 3, I think, so probably it makes sense for me to do it.
Yeah.
Well, no rolls required. It's a standard, but you need to have the skill though. So I'm assuming you tap the thing and shove it into 6's arm.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, do you have any tattoos?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Right. Okay. So it goes in. Your arm feels a bit warm where the injection site was. How long are you waiting for these wasps to defrost and all that type of stuff?
6 will be very vocal about everything she's feeling and or seeing since being injected.
Okay. Mhm. So how long do you guys want to wait before you test her? And how long do you guys want to wait to see if these wasps defrost?
Well,
Well, I think we're not going to be terribly impatient about it. We're keeping an eye on the flies.
Okay. All right. Well, the wasps take about half an hour to defrost, and they all defrost. So you've now got 12 vials of defrosted wasps. Um, I suppose it's about time to. It wouldn't hurt to do a test now if you wanted to do a test on 6.
Yeah, Doc will do that.
All right.
What's happening with the flies?
They're still buzzing around. You're not quite sure if there's any more than there were. There could be. Do you want to open up one of the vials
Yep.
Of wasps.
Yeah.
of wasps? Sorry, of wasps. Yes, I should have specified. If you're going to open up one of the vials of wasps, yes,
Yes.
then the wasps quickly fly out and quickly seem to attack the flies. The flies, some of the flies even try and disappear up a ventilation shaft, and the wasps goes after them. In the meantime, Six's tox report comes back, and there's none of that stuff in her blood anymore.
Ooh.
Cool.
Nice.
All my purple fingertips and all that, has that started to...
Oh,
Where?
not yet. Not yet, but it's I mean, it could be paler, maybe. It's only been about half hour. Symptoms might take a little while to get to disappear.
I guess we're going to do everybody then.
Okay, you can do everybody. There's plenty left over after you've done everybody.
Yeah, there's that camp where lots of people were infected. We should probably
Yeah.
go and do something about that.
What are you doing with the wasp vials?
We're going to take some of them to the camp, which was infected, I believe. Infested.
Yeah, fested.
We'll probably go and visit the bear corpse. I believe there were a lot of flies around there. We'll maybe release
Yes.
some there.
Yeah. And the
Are there
truck?
still flies buzzing in here?
No. No,
Okay,
no.
so all flies are gone, and the wasps aren't coming back to attack us?
No.
Oh,
No. In fact, they seem to be going. Most of them. There's still a few flying around, but most of them seem to have gone up the vent shaft.
oh, I don't know if that's better.
Well, it means we've
sorry.
released them into the world.
And the truck that was ambushed.
Yeah, we should probably go there. I think there were some flies there.
So, if I'm correct, what I'm hearing is you're going to go through the airlock, leave the property, head down the path, release some flies over the bear corpse.
Wasps, yeah.
Wasps over the bear corpse, and then do the same at the truck, and then do the same at the camp, and also inoculate people at the camp. Is that right?
That's certainly my plan, unless anybody has any objections. Or
No, sounds good.
thoughts.
All right. Well, Walks far says you go ahead. I'm going to see if I can recover anything here. He's not looking too He's not looking too hopeful.
Did we inoculate him as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
assumed you did. I assumed you did.
No, there was more as to whether or not he asked to be, or if he was actively not wanting to.
Oh no.
Is he an anti-vaxxer?
No, he's not an anti-vaxxer. All right. Well, if that's the plan, then we can go and set that in motion. That'll take most of the rest of the day in terms of travel, inoculation, releasing flies, and things like that, and then monitoring everybody. So, you happy to do that?
Yep.
Yeah, it works for me.
All right. Listen, let's have a quick 5-minute bathroom break. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
And we'll see you in 5. So who's back?
Yep.
Never left.
Never left, eh? There you go. Okay. Oh dear. So by the end of the day, everyone's been inoculated, and everyone and the diagnostic machine is basically saying everyone's clear. Um, the wasps seem to have cleared out all the flies around the campsite. So you assume that's also happened at the bear and the truck. Um, so yeah.
Lovely. From a player point of view, are we allowed to know what the blue and the reds were for?
Oh yeah. For the blue was for defeating Desmona, and the reds was for uh, working out the wasps.
Ah, cool.
So
It,
okay.
so I don't quite think the nuke was the best way to go about it, but it was in the end it was effective.
So we got awarded for my bad play.
No, you got awarded for defeating the bad guy.
If
It's
it would have been an okay play if I hadn't rolled so high.
it's
And I
funny to me though that the chip awards are one for figuring out the wasps and the other for defeating Desmona. If it wasn't for the nuke, like I have to wonder how else she could have been defeated if it wasn't the wasps. It's like you're actually getting a red and a blue for completing the mission.
yeah, well, that's basically what you're doing. That's basically what's happening. But you asked the question, so I told you.
Yeah, no, that was more of a commentary on the
Did you guys have any other ideas how to defeat the wasps? Exactly.
and given like I was only searching because we had downtime, and I think we would have probably spent a lot more time in combat.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, it's yeah. The trouble is you needed the time to work things out, and you didn't have that time while you were fighting Desmona. So you know,
That's possibly Six's fault for instigating a fight earlier than maybe was necessary.
yeah. Half
Yeah.
a dozen
See.
one, six of the other.
So
Six of the other. I see what you did there.
so
I didn't actually, but well done.
so Matt, just to understand this power more, I'm kind of
Yeah,
supposed to shoot it off at a distance like artillery. That's what you were
yeah,
getting at.
yeah. It's more of
Not
it's not ground zero. It's more of an outdoor thing than an indoor thing. Put it that way.
we.
No,
What else did we have? I'm just saying.
I know. Yeah. When you put it this way, it was last session. It was getting very desperate.
Yeah, well, we had
Um.
no chips left. It's like I have to do
Mhm.
something.
They
Mhm.
weren't coming in the freezer, and Doc was trying to figure out how to make a flamethrower. So you know,
Yeah. Exactly. So there we go. That's what I need to do.
I thought it was
So
a. Yeah, go ahead.
um, technically, if you guys want to spend some chips, um, you've got some time.
What a funny joke.
I wasn't joking.
I'm gonna convert them to bounty points before I use them in
That's what I meant.
combat again.
Um, shit, hang on. Sorry.
I'm just
Um,
gonna turn them into bounty points now.
just drop me. You know how to do that. I'm sure.
Must be improved mode. Okay.
Do we have any points from the Cosmic Twin thing? I think Jesse certainly has spent some bounty since I created, or Abner has spent bounty since I created Jesse.
Well, they'll be showing up in the improved mode if they will, mate. You've got 3 points you haven't spent there, so yeah.
So Matt, how do I learn the less effective blast that would be useful for combat?
You mean atomic blast?
Yeah, the one that shoots like lasers.
Yeah, the atomic blast is the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just, yeah. Sorry, it's the same as learning any miracle. You spend 5 bounty points and make a faith roll, basically.
okay, can I do that?
Yeah, if you want, you've got time. So at the end of the day, and this is why I'm saying, at the end of the day, everyone's feeling, we're starting to feel better. Your fingers have gone back to normal, by the way, Six.
Thank you.
So you share the camp with everybody overnight. Okay. Um, uh, Timeline. Where's my timeline? I had a timeline here somewhere.
I note that a green hasn't gone into the pot. Just putting that out there.
Actually, a green has gone into the pot. You just won't see it.
Oh, I thought it says in the chat a green gets added to the pot.
No, all I do is just roll up the roll. Yeah, that's when one's put back in the pot. I just roll up. I just change the pot manually.
Okay.
Wow, I have a
Good.
4 in flamethrower. Interesting. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what you do. What was I doing? Dates.
Why did I put 4 in flamethrower but not 4 in fighting?
I don't know.
Do you own a flamethrower?
No, I don't. I think I just had extra points when I was making this character. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put 4 in flamethrower because I want a
What a
flamethrower at
first
some
world
point.
character problem.
Well,
Oh
as I
dear, what
said,
am I going to do with all these points?
yeah, something like that.
What am I gonna do with all these points? I'm gonna put them in flamethrower because I used it in a show in Vegas.
It's as good an excuse as any.
I'm just trying to figure out what my logic was at the time, and not put any in fighting, which I found was made all my rolls impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. So, can I do that? Learn a miracle thing now?
Yeah, you spend. Yeah, well, it's so. You spend the night with the campsite. They're very happy to host you, basically. So yeah, you can spend it now if you want. You can do that. You can do that faith roll to learn it.
So I just make a normal faith roll.
Yeah, you just go make a normal faith roll. You shouldn't have much trouble.
So 5d12
Yeah,
exploding. Keep
yeah,
one.
yep. Don't critically fail.
I made it, I
Yeah.
think.
So yes, you now have that atomic blast if that's
And
what the one you're after.
how do I take the bounty points off?
Oh, I can do that for you. Hang on. In fact, I'll have to do that for you. Wait a
Okay,
minute.
so now I have the one that's actually useful in combat.
There you go.
And then I'm
So
gonna
yeah, to answer your question, Jesse, Andrew, yeah, looking at your sheet, there appears to be some cosmic twin points you haven't spent yet.
Yep, great.
So
Okay, and my second question is, how do I put the rest of the stuff in brawling? I just put
you should be able to drag.
the
You should be
points.
able to drag from the remaining box up to the
There
brawl
we go.
and yeah, and drop it into the brawling. Um,
Perfect. Now I got a 3 in brawling, so I should be able to actually make my rolls. What's the target for a brawling? It's target 6
Target five plus their five plus
plus their armor.
no plus their ability plus their skill.
Okay, so I have a D10 in nimbleness, which isn't bad, which is what
Hmm.
brawling is.
Hmm.
That's fine. But I couldn't make it on what was the problem was before it was like a target 8 and I had a 1 die.
Maybe.
I think that was a problem the last battle. So like I kept missing everything.
Hmm.
You can't improve your brawling twice, by the way,
Why can't I improve it twice?
You're not allowed
because
to.
you can't ever improve a skill twice at the same time.
Oh, in the same thing. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay, this is going back to 2, and I need Matt. Can you change it?
Yep.
Brawl needs to go to 2, and I need 3 bounty points back.
And would you mind removing 5 from me? I just
Hang
picked
on,
up a
hang on.
power.
Why can't I? Oh, that's why. Hang on, whoa, don't play around, Taylor.
Sorry. I just moved the brawl into 2.
Yeah. Come on, why aren't you moving, you bastard?
Yes, it's got to stay. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Check. Yep, right. There we go. So 7 points, 26 bounties, 34.
I'm never gonna use acrobat skills. Do an acrobat.
No, there's a mistake there somewhere. Now, why isn't that adding up? Oh, yes, it is. I'm stupid. Don't mind me. Sorry, 6. You were wanting something adjusted?
Yeah, if you could remove 5 bounty from me, I just lent a power.
Can I ask which one, or would you rather not say?
Fleshnet. It was one that
You
I
added
had
this,
miscalculated initially, but I'd already written it down. We said we'd fix it up later, so I'm fixing
Yeah,
it up
okay.
ASAP.
Done. You can get rid of that wound for yourself too by now.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else need adjusting on the sheets?
And I can only learn 1 miracle level up.
Oh yeah. It takes a while.
Figured.
The assumption is you've been practicing and trying to learn that miracle for the last week or 2.
Yeah, I learned it when I blew stuff up.
Yeah. Surgery. Wow. Jesse wants to be a doctor. Who's playing? Who's looking after Max at the moment?
I am.
Could you do yourself a favor? Pull up Google Maps, and when you've got it up, let me know. I'll give you the address. Okay.
Yes.
So you want to focus in on Willow Creek, California.
Yes.
So Willow Creek was the small town, wreck town that you passed a while ago. See where if you go north from Willow Creek up Highway 96. See where it's got all that squiggly bit about a few miles north.
Left of Weech Peck.
I don't know. I'm not that far into it. Depends what zoom you've got. Before you hit Hooper.
Oh yes. Okay.
All right. That's more or less where you are. That's more or less where the adventure took place, around that area there.
Okay. Cool.
Now you were on the way to Eureka. So you need to zoom out a bit. And if you follow 96 all the way up, and it turns to the east and all the way over to Interstate Highway 5, Eureka's just down, a little bit down from the 96 turnoff. Okay? You zoomed out enough?
Yes, Eureka.
Yes.
Left,
That's where you were headed.
Sorry, it's west of Montague.
Yes, that's correct. That's where you were headed. Remember, yesterday morning, you were, as you were about to leave Eureka, I think it was. Yeah, Eureka is where you came from. All right. They asked you to drop some mail in because it's more or less on your way to to where you're going.
Hmm.
So that's where you're headed. And then from there, you're going from Eureka. You're going to map your way over to Boise, which is towards the top right, somewhat. It's a fair way over, but
Hmm.
so. And the reason I'm telling you is because Max is this is Max, and
In
this
a
is the
Humvee, yeah,
in her Humvee, and she knows she's got knowledge of roads. That's one of her
right.
skills she took. So this is why, and we can basically use Google, the modern Google Maps as a road map. There are some differences. A lot of the coast of California doesn't exist below Eureka,
Hmm.
for obvious reasons. But we can generally use it as a road map, literally. Um, so yeah. So the next morning, which is the you started out yesterday, and it was I had it a minute ago. It was the 19th of October. So it's now the morning of the 20th of October. Um, and you're heading, and the idea was to continue heading up 96 to Eureka. Um, so, yeah, does that make sense?
Hmm.
So is that what you're doing? What everyone was going to be doing? Is that what heading that way?
Yep.
I believe so, yeah.
All right. Well, so you pile into you pile into the Humvee, and Sarge gets on a bike. You say goodbye to everybody. They're very grateful if they ever, if you if we ever encounter you again, so this way again, stop in and say hi, all that type of thing. And you head up. Yes, you head up. No, it's not 9. It's the 21st. You head up. You head up um, the 96 to Eureka. So can I get 3 spot checks off everybody to represent travel up the road over the next 7 to 8 hours that it takes to get to Eureka, please.
Oh, one sec. Spot check.
So a spot check, please.
Oh wow. Oh wait. I think I credited that one. Crit failed.
Yeah, you poke yourself in the eye. So is that everybody?
There's another crit fail. 2 ones.
Yeah, I'm done now.
Why can that be my D20 rolls earlier?
All right, so it does take you most of the day. Yeah, it takes about 7 to 8 hours to travel up the road. Um, when you get Hoopar, Summers Bay, Happy Camp, Horse Creek, they're all pretty deserted. Look they've been looted. You stop a couple of times around about lunchtime, which would be round about Happy Camp somewhere, I suppose. Do a bit of scavenging in the buildings and that, as you want to do. With that in mind, do you want to give me a quick scavenge check, Doc? Anyone else who has
Yep.
scrounge or scavenge, whatever it is? This is pretty much your standard operating um, procedure when you're traveling. When you come across a likely looking place, you'll stop and do some scavenging. Was that you or Sarge?
That's Doc.
Um, so yeah. Um, Now, just on that, without me having to look it up, do you remember the scavenging rules in terms of how much you get when you do a scavenge? If you can't, it's fine. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I got it pretty close to me. Let's look it up.
What's it under? Smarts or?
Yeah, it is smarts. Yeah. So, TN define particular item depends on the item and location. All right. So TN is 5 if it's near cities or town, and if it's
Yeah.
11 out in the wastes. Yada yada yada.
Can Max have a go at scrounging as well?
Yeah, of course.
Hmm.
Um, Now, Doc, what about you for in particular trying to find particular parts, component parts? Doc?
Oh, sorry, I was holding on the wrong button. Yeah, so that second one was for Sarge. So yeah, for Archie, he's probably most on the look for chemical parts at the moment.
Right. What,
But depending on, like, I guess it would depend on the area and whether he'd think that there would be chemical parts there. But
well, there's a service station, so there might be some oil and lubricants and that type of thing, which count as chemicals.
So yeah, chemical. Yeah. So I'm pretty good on structural parts, but yeah, I guess I'd be looking for sort of chemical parts, and if I could find any ghost rock, that'd be great.
Yeah,
But I doubt it.
yeah. No, not Ghost Rocky. You probably. I mean, some random. I mean, is there a die roll for how many parts you find? How many in that list that you've got? Because I haven't got it in front of me.
With. So it's I mean, it's just got a specific example here, so I think it might be in your guide, the real rules are here. But it says for bullets, 2 hours and a hard scrounge and roll.
I've got that.
Yeah,
I've got that
yeah,
myself. Now
yeah.
I'm talking about is there anything particular in the Junkers book. I thought you were looking at.
Yeah. Let me look at the Junkers book then. Yep, hang on. I guess you can move on to other people's while I talk about the look up this.
So was anyway. So did Max doesn't find anything of interest. Neither does Jesse really.
Okay, so yeah, here it is. So whenever your junker spots a likely prospect, you better get to work. Tell the marshal what type of component you're looking for. It is possible to get multiple types of components from a single source, but each requires a separate scrounging roll. Okay, so
yeah, unless we're going on a scrounging expedition, you're only getting one scrounging roll.
yeah, and chemical ones. Given that I want to recharge my med pack, is a good thing. If the marshal, so you set TN, and then if hero succeeds, she finds 2d6 components, and each raise on the scrounging roll adds +2 to the die roll.
Yeah, well, you find 4 chemical components in the service station's workshop. You know, most of them are obviously petroleum based, things like that, lubricants and bits and pieces. But yes, you do.
Excellent, cool.
Right. Did anyone roll? Anyone not you roll a 10 or better?
Yeah, Sarge did.
Sarge did. Okay. She manages to find one bullet.
Oh, yep.
and by coincidence, it's the bullet she needs for her firearm,
Gotcha.
but only one because we're not spending 2 hours doing it. We're only doing this is
Yeah.
like half
You
hour or
weren't
so max.
joking about how hard bullets are to find.
No,
See
you won't.
one and you find yeah, a 10,
Yeah,
it gets you
yeah.
one bullet.
Well, it's only a small town, and it's been picked over pretty much. It's on the highway, so it's been picked over pretty well anyway. You know what I mean? And you're only spending
Yeah,
about half an
but I'm
only
thinking
spending
most
about
places we're going to be are in a similar condition.
probably, probably. Yeah, bullets are pretty hard to get hold of. Anyway, so that's what you do over lunch, and you finish up traveling, and you get to Eureka um, uh, near the end of the day. As you approach the gates, um, uh, which are open at the moment. One of the there's a couple of guys there standing there with rifles over their back. As you get closer, I'm assuming you're slowing down to a reasonable rate so you're not to spook these guys.
Yeah.
All right, so you pull up, you pull up, 10 meters or so short of the gates, which is pretty much what you would do, and obviously Sarge takes her helmet. She doesn't wear a crash helmet. Sarge, g'day or not g'day, hello. Sorry, that's Australian for you. Um, and howdy. What brings you to Yeka?
We have a delivery to make.
Oh yeah, from whom?
That's a good question. I can't remember that.
You came from the township of Eureka. Is where you started out
Eureka to
yesterday morning.
Eureka.
Eureka to Reka, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's why I was confused. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, we came from there. We got this thing to deliver.
Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure you've been a few places before. Don't cause any trouble, and trouble won't cause you anything.
Understood.
All right. So if you just like to all get out of the Humvee, we'll just do a quick disease check.
Oh yeah.
Um, 6. You do your normal thing, I take it.
Yes, please.
All right. So they check everybody over. They're a
Do you
little.
want to
They're a
roll
little
for
bit
it?
weird. Please, if you want. Ooh.
20.
23. 23. Yeah. Plenty. So they're a little bit wary of 6, but everyone else checks out okay. So they wave you through. You find the local watering hole, park outside. You get a few looks from people. They don't see many vehicles come through these days. Certainly not strangers. Probably the easiest thing to do would be to go into the bar and say you've got a package for for whoever it is from people in Eureka. If you do that, they'll point you in the right direction.
Yep.
Deliver the package. Very grateful. By the time this all goes down, the sun's setting, so you'll probably want to stay overnight, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Standard prices will apply as per the book.
Yeah, just looking that up.
Yeah, so am I. It doesn't actually have it.
I remember the Weird West one definitely did, but
Yeah, I'll look up the Weird West one. It's pretty much the same economy in that regard. Let me pull up the Weird West one. Or have you got it already? Have you?
no, I know I don't.
It's all right.
Yeah, I'm looking here and it's all very gear orientated.
Yeah, it's all right. No big deal. Services. Here we go. Yeah, so $5 $5 a night. That includes a meal.
Yep.
and whiskey and everything else, um, as per normal. Yeah.
Those of us without any listed currency.
It's basically currency. Actually, most of it's not even currency. Most of it's done in trade. Like you trade a bullet for, or a couple of bullets for whatever. So we use the currency in that as the benchmark, but it's actually more trade.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, so whatever, I can't remember what's a bullet worth. You remember? Everyone remember? No, here we go. Bullets are
Depends on the
bullets are about a
caliber.
dollar. Well, it depends on the caliber, but bullets are if you talk a 10 mil bullet, they're a dollar each. A horse is $300. Give somebody 300 bullets, you've got a horse. You know,
Right.
or the equivalent thereof. So those of you who haven't got any actual cash can trade whatever you want to pay for this stuff. Okay.
Yep.
No, nobody at the camps that we've just inoculated and saved from the flies gave us any dollary dues.
Well, they didn't have much to give. That's the problem.
Right.
Eternal gratitude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's
Six might just be sleeping in the long grass. It's got a tent.
If that's the case, Doc will spot 6.
there you go, 6.
Thank you very much.
How
She's
sorry.
quite happy to be out on her own.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Yeah, but the town probably does, the town probably isn't.
yeah. How big is this town, by the way, Matt?
Eureka.
Yeah.
The Holiday Express Inn for $441 a night. Sorry, I just actually clicked on it on Google Maps. 2020 it had 7,800. You're looking at maybe 100 people.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's pretty big for a survivor settlement. It's a pretty big place.
Yeah.
But it's the only place that's been. It's the only place around too. Everyone else has been deserted. So, it's one of those things. So, anyone want to do anything tonight? Gamble or drink up lots or anything like that?
Yeah, I was thinking of going a little bit of a hunt around, given it's a kind of big city, and leaning on my dinero edge to see if I can scrounge up some cash.
Or cash equivalents.
Or cash equivalents, yes.
Yeah. By all means, you can make that roll, as per se. Everyone's pretty friendly, wary but friendly. They get a few people in. You're obviously not marauders. Taylor's asked to help out with a couple of sick cases around town.
Cool. That was Doc. He needed to make a TN9, so that's good.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you want to do that, Taylor.
Sorry, I help with a few cases.
Yeah, you're a doomsayer, so a good doomsayer,
Right.
and they recognise that. So someone's got a broken leg. Would you mind?
Did I
That
just
type of
make a
thing.
faith roll or what?
Yes, mate. Just make me a couple of faith rolls, if you're willing to do it.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
Goodwill tour.
Just don't want to, fail
So what?
on these and give
Yeah,
people ugly sin.
yeah. Well, they're quite happy to. Yeah, you're fine. So what did you end up getting, Doc?
Oh, on that roll. So I can't do this more than once a week in the same place.
Location, yeah.
Yeah. But I just got $400.
Worth of what? Salvage.
Yeah. It's just $400, so it's not $400 worth of parts.
No, it's $400 worth
It's
of salvage.
Yeah, it's $400. Yeah.
$400 worth of salvage or trade goods.
Yeah. Well, I
Whatever you
mean,
want.
when we say bucks in this, we mean
Trade goods.
trade goods. We don't actually mean cash. So
Yeah, that's right. So how does so from a story point of view, how does that work?
just
haggling or
yeah, it just means that I'm a shady bastard and I know where to hunt out all the good stuff and rip people off and get good parts and all that kind of stuff. Like that's really what I think. That's role play wise. That's what the doc is off doing.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I mean,
So-
the way to play, right? Like if you had high bluff, you would be like conning people or
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, and streetwise can be a play into it as well. So,
Yeah, all that type of stuff.
but I mean,
So-
theoretically, you could also say that Doc's just gone around fixing a bunch of stuff for people, like that kind of stuff as well. Like
And they've rewarded him with
Yeah,
some money,
yeah.
things like that. Speaking of which, Taylor, you earn yourself $100 worth of trade goods for your healing stuff.
I earn myself what? $100 of what?
$100 worth of trade goods for
Oh.
the healing. Yeah, people are quite happy to pay you for
Wonderful.
your help.
Anybody need
so, yeah.
anything killed?
I don't get green chips for this, like the last
No,
guy.
you don't get green chips for this. You know. Speaking of which, anyone want to do some tale telling in the pub tonight?
Oh well, I did think the some person with D4 in Mien probably should do that.
Anyone?
I'm just looking at Sarge's sheet.
Yeah, that looks like a dump stat on both of these characters too.
Yeah, I got like 2d6.
0 and
No,
telltale.
1d6.
So no one's
Nobody
taking.
has it. I'm actually gonna.
Yeah, if you
improve
wanna do it.
to 2d6.
All right. Well, you're going to improve it, did you say?
Yeah,
Cool. Do you want to then try and use it?
yeah.
Oh, give me a roll as you tell the story of Desmona the Fly Woman, or whatever tale you want to tell.
And the nuclear blast.
Well, the story goes over all right, but you don't earn any extra chips or anything for it, unfortunately.
Because the mechanic there is legitimately lowering the fear level, right? Yeah. Okay.
That's right. And you need to get a couple of successes for that. A couple of at least one raise for that, I think, from memory.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay.
But yeah, it's certainly the type of thing you're doing, trying to help out.
Yeah.
Give the
I
people hope.
I'll be throwing more bounty at that in the
Yeah.
future, but can't throw any more at it at the moment.
No,
obviously.
that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So, anyone else want to do anything tonight? As a gamble, try and find yourselves a joy boy. I'd normally say a girl, but most of you girls anyway. So,
I think it's fair.
I-
You go, sorry,
Six, do
James.
you want to find another it?
I was going to say I did forget to grab my fourth bounty chip today.
Your what?
The fourth poker chip, fate chip today.
What was that for?
Oh, you get a temporary one, do you?
No, I have this Luck of the Irish thing.
Yeah, that one's a temporary
yeah.
one. You-
Actually, well, the revised rules, it's not the case.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it sticks around.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, shit.
Where-
Okay.
where-
Oh, if I'd known that,
Yeah, so would have I. That's like, wow.
Because originally it was a temporary one, and then in the revised rules, it says essentially you just get a fourth one. It doesn't even expire at the end of the game.
Hang on, slow down.
And you can
That's
use
an
it for bounty
interpretation
points.
which you may have correct. Right?
I
It's
think
also
we discussed this.
Yeah, we may have done. I'm just refreshing my memory. It's in
Okay.
Waste Warriors, isn't it?
Somewhere, I can't honestly remember.
And can you spend it on bounty points?
I believe so. Yeah, it just counts as a chip. At this point, it says you. I think the revised rules say the new rule for Luck of the Irish is you just get an additional fate chip.
Huh. It seems like it's worth dropping 15 bounty points on picking that up.
Yeah, like it's on page 40 of Waste Warriors, printed page 40 of Waste Warriors. It's the revised rules. Brainers with the Luck of the Irish Edge now simply get to draw an extra fate chip at the beginning of each session. That's it. So yeah,
Jeez.
it's a fourth chip.
Wow. I missed that
So that one
detail.
might, yeah, well, yeah, it's all there. Pays to be a bit of a rules lawyer sometimes, I suppose. Which
Just
surprises
scroll
me
through
how
the
you missed it.
books.
Yeah, it surprises me that I missed it too. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm kicking myself right now, because that seems very worthwhile.
Let me check the original Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, it was either something like you could draw it up at the beginning of the game, but it goes back in the pot and you can't convert it to bounty at the end of the session. And then I think even there was like another one before that.
Yeah, well, don't forget we've got two different game systems that are supposedly trying to merge. You know what I mean? I can't find. I mean, here I'm looking for it in hindrances, not in advantages. Yep, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly how it works, as we've just discussed. It's a fourth chip at the start of every session.
Wow. I like it. Good
Yeah,
find.
well, yeah, nice find. Well, it'll cost you 15 points for those who don't have it.
Oh yeah, I know.
So 15?
To be fair, I had to.
Yeah. 9.
9, surely.
It's only a 3-point. It's only a 3-point each. So it's going to cost you 9 points to buy it.
Bargain.
Pays for itself pretty quick.
It
It
does.
would do.
Because that doesn't say you get a white chip. That just says you get a chip.
Yeah,
So
no.
in theory, could come as quick as 2 sessions if you get a couple of greens.
Yeah, exactly. Have you drawn it? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
There was unfortunately no way that I couldn't have De Niro given my character, because he's just
no.
so money hungry with all these parts.
Well, that's it. Mine, you needed it. You did need it because that's gonna pay off for you longer in the long run. It really is.
Oh yeah,
The Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good thing.
So, yeah. All right. Well, nothing much interesting happens. I mean, it's quite a pleasant evening. Again, you're not out in the wilderness, which is a good thing. Like it was, last night, getting jumped on by debtors. Unless this place is also an illusion. Is it an illusion, James? Is this place an illusion, James?
I choose to disbelieve.
I choose to disbelieve. So the next morning, you're heading out. Any idea which route you're going to take to get to Boise?
I might just leverage Google Maps. 1 second.
Yeah, that's basically what I was asking you to do.
I guess I just have a question just about how we want to do my sort of downtime stuff. Like if I'm recharging batteries, do you want me to explicitly call that out at a place like this?
Yeah, you better.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Because there might be times when you're not going to get a chance to do it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you're better off calling it out. Just in the same way, you really should be calling out your Luck of the Irish at the start of a session, Hex, from now on.
Yeah, I keep it because we delayed bounty points.
Yeah, that's fine.
I forgot it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's okay. But it's such a freebie. When you think about it, it is such a freebie that if you forget at the time, then the luck's not with you that day. Okay.
Yeah.
That goes for everybody. So, basically, by the way, I actually, when I was setting this campaign up, I actually used Google Maps and that to actually map your way around the Wasted West, and wrote it all down in rough idea. So Google Maps is the traveler's friend in this game.
So, do you want me to like read it out to you? But I've literally
No,
told
no,
you between
it just
Eureka and
you know,
Boise.
hey.
But
Basically, are you going? Basically, are you going north via Riley, or are you going east via Wimichucka? You know.
Looks like we are going. Oh, that's not the place I want to drag. Looks like we're going east through Granada, and then as soon as we hit the 97, then we're going north. 97,
Yeah, that you
97.
go that way. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
all the way
And
up
then up
until we hit the. Geez, what is that?
Sun River Bend, Sun River
US
and Bend.
20
Yeah,
east, or the I-84.
the I-84. Not up at Bend, and then down through Riley, Burns, Harper, and then into Boise that way. I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Just I want to know which general way you're going, northeastish or southeastish. Southeastish was more or less what I was after, give or take.
Yeah, until we get to Ontario, really? Okay, and then we're going slightly south to Boise.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's secondary roads there. If you zoom in, you'll get some secondary roads that aren't,
Yeah.
that'll give you a better shot. So I wouldn't go through. I wouldn't go through. Granada's not your best way. You're better off going up past Somerset Lake on some of those secondary roads and coming out
Oh,
New
okay.
Doris. See what I mean? So yeah, use Google Maps as a bit of as a starter, but then you'll find some better ways of going from that. Anyway. So next morning you're heading out towards Boise to get so Jesse can go and report in. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you come to the gate. It's a pretty early morning start. They actually haven't opened up the gate yet, so you're the first guys, the first people through. As the gate's opening, one of the older guards, gate, like the sergeant, comes over and says, "So which way are you headed?"
I'm here to see Simon.
No. You're still in. This is before you leave, dude.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I thought we got
No.
there.
Nope. This is when you were leaving Eureka in the morning of the 20, whatever I said first.
Ah, right. Okay. Sorry. We've been narrating the journey. I just assumed it had happened. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No, what we were doing was planning the journey, but that's okay. I didn't make that clear. So yeah. So the gate guard at Eureka says to you, which way you headed?
Up to the big lake, Summer Lake, and over to Riley. We're going to end up in Boise.
Afraid not. That way's been blocked recently by a landslide, he says. Tell you the best way to go. Take notes. Tell you the best way to go. Head on down the I-40 about 40 miles until you get just past the Mount Sasha Township. Then take exit 736 and turn left onto Route 89 towards McLeod. Go along another 40 miles or so till you see MacArthur Road. Turn left, and then when you hit Route 299 at MacArthur, turn left again. Once you're on Route 299, follow it through until you hit US Route 395. Turn north, and that'll take you more or less straight on through, he says.
Straight on through to Boise?
Yeah, pretty much. Follow your nose from there. If there hadn't been the landslide, the way you were going to go was good, but it's about 2 hours up, so you would have wasted about half a day before you hit the landslide. There was no way around it. I go up hunting that. We go up hunting that way for food sometimes. So
cool. Can we scrutinize him?
Yeah, by all means. Give us a scrutinise roll. You think he's telling the truth?
Okay.
You think he's telling the truth?
Yep. All right, probably time to go then.
Sorry, I'm eating on me. I'm eating on you.
I don't exactly know how to make all of that work in Google Maps, so I'm just going to follow the fact that we wrote those directions down.
Yeah, well, just if you zoom in a bit, you basically head down the highway. Just follow
Oh,
the.
I
Just follow
see
the.
it now. Yeah, I found McLeod and then
Mhm.
MacArthur.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I just had to drag it down to head through
Yeah.
MacArthur, and then it's up and around through
Mhm.
the 395 until it hits the I-20. Is there another way that he wanted me to go?
No, that's pretty much it.
395, and then north to Boise. Okay, that's the I-20 east, but sure, close
Yeah.
enough.
That's several days worth of travel, by the way.
Yeah, 540 miles, 9 hours.
Yeah, and that's assuming you don't travel that
That's modern
because
roads,
of all the wrecks on the road and the fact that it's been 13 years since any road maintenance was done and things like that. You may as well double those times that Google Maps gives you, at least because of the conditions. Okay,
Yeah.
so basically, I think from memory you can do about 400 miles a day at best.
Mhm.
So you know, yeah, it's basically how that works more or less. So you head on down. The directions aren't too hard to follow. Obviously, again, whoops, what am I doing? Whoops, you skirt a few of the townships, things like that. Um, um, Lunchtime finds you somewhere along the 89, roughly halfway along the 89. Um, you find the you know you find the turn off, bypass MacArthur, head up head up through Bieber, and near the getting on towards the end of the day, you're coming up towards the intersection of the 299 with the 139 at Aden.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, Sorry, juggling here. No, that's not what I want. That's the Deadlands Players Guide. That's from after. Sorry, burping in my ear. Turn those off. So, so there's Aden. It's about an hour before sunset. Um, it's probably not a bad. It's probably not a bad place to hole up for the night. It'll give you an hour or so to check the place out, make sure you're not going to get jumped by anybody. And there's do a bit of scrounging as well if you wanted to. So you're coming in from the left along Route 299, and you're going to be turning up Route 139 to get where you're going to. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
So I said I don't know if you guys want to stop here for the night. Again, it's probably the best place.
Yeah,
Have
it's a good idea. Yep.
Have a bit of a scrounge around and that. Have a good scrounge around. If everyone wants to do that, that's fine. The place is pretty abandoned, obviously.
Cool. Do I have how long do we kind of have before sundown?
It's about an hour before sundown.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Enough time to scout around and try and find somewhere to kip down for the night. I mean, there's a couple of places that without I mean, nothing's pristine by any means, but you've got the town hall, you've got the Go-Go Mart, the grocery store, the the brew and stew, even the church. Yeah, they're all they're yeah, and the other places they're all Um, so do you want descriptions? If you want descriptions of anyone, any particular one in particular, just let me know.
Looks
But
like we've
Aiden,
got
it's
a
sorry.
doctors that might be worth looking at, a corner drug, and maybe the hardware. Look, pretty much most places look pretty good for screen engines.
All right. Well, are you going to split up, or are you going to stick together, or are you going to split into teams, or?
I think until we know the lay of the land, it's probably good to not split up. I think.
Okay. Well, let me give you a bit of a description about Aden itself. It's a small rural town. It's a bit of a backwater state highway. It was anyway before the war. Now it's yeah. Um, the intersection has traffic lights. They're not working, but they do have traffic lights. So it's the middle of it's rolling open valley country. All right, there's wheat and barley growing wild in the fields around the place. Okay, as you explore the town, there's a few places where the wheat and barley is actually coming up through the cracked concrete and cracked tar of the of the roadways and things like that. Okay, um, the buildings are mostly intact, but there are very few of the windows have survived. Um, as I said, all the buildings in town itself, they seem to be businesses more than residences. That's pretty typical of this type of area. Most of the residences were farmers, and they're obviously out on the farms. And you've seen plenty of these abandoned farmhouses and that in your travels around the place. Um, I'll tell you what does look good, as you are looking around, is it because it's on such a backwater. It doesn't seem to be as looted as some of the other places you visited in your travels. Um, so yeah.
Cool.
So give me a building that you want to check out in particular, and I'll give you the bits and pieces. Just before you do something, I just wanted to check something. Right, that's what I thought. Um,
Yeah, I think Archie would probably go scrounging around the hardware store.
right. Well, give me a second. That's what I thought. Hardware store. Look, it's burnt. It's been burnt to the ground.
Oh
The hardware
wow,
shop.
well I think I would have known that before.
Yeah, you could hang on. If you wanted to dig through the rubble, it might be worth your while. It's up to you.
I mean,
We've seen enough burnt out houses for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, but this is a hardware shop.
yeah, I think it's probably worthwhile.
All right. Well, give me a scrounge and roll this.
Yeah,
What's what?
that
Yeah.
that one above was scrounging around.
Oh, sorry, I can't see it. I've got the map covering it. So the 19. Okay, nice.
Are we doing everybody having a scrounge?
Uh, if you wanted to, so it's up to you.
I mean, I know Sarge has scrounge, but she's probably more likely, given her background, to want to scrounge around the grocery store because she
Yeah.
really likes food. But yeah, no,
And Max would probably be gravitating towards the town hall
yes.
for the records. What was that? Life, universe, everything. Somebody's playing something in the background. Somebody mentioned the doctor's office at one stage as well.
Yes.
So what do you let me do what did you roll? You rolled a 19, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay. So look, you do find some charred bones of some charred bones, some charred skeletal remains. Um, there's two adult-sized sets and three smaller sets of human bones amongst the rubble.
That's odd that somebody was burnt alive here.
You find a box of 50 large nails.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth about $5. You find a 20-foot length of heavy chain. That's worth about $2. You do find a pair of bolt cutters.
Oh yeah.
Bolt cutters are worth $15.
Good thing we got a Humvee to carry all this.
Did you search as well, Six?
Yeah, 6 got a 9 and Max got a 7.
Yeah.
Jesse got
Six.
a 5.
Thank you. Six. You actually find a socket wrench set.
Cool. Is somebody keeping tabs on all this? I'm just putting it in the Humvee.
The socket set's worth about $50.
And is this stuff that we should basically we should write it down as inventory or write it down kind of as currency that we'll trade later? How does this game work? And yeah, I guess
you do it. You can do it. You can do it either way. I mean, you could abstract it, or you could use it as you want. I mean, I would be inclined to write it down at what it was. You never know. You might need a 20-foot length. You might need some heavy chain at one stage if you've got it written down. You know what I mean? You might come across a trucker who needs a socket wrench set, or you could use it yourselves if you needed it for your own repairs. You know what I mean? So
gotcha.
if I were you, I'd probably be writing down what you trade goods. Trade goods is one thing, right? Individually named items, I'd probably be keeping them as individually named items. That would be me. It's up to you.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, I definitely wrote it down bolt cutters because that feels like a very useful thing to have later. Yep. Okay. Cool.
So that was the that's the drugstore. Sorry, the hardware store. Where do you want to? Someone want to go somewhere else or what?
I mean, if we're over here, the grocery store and the Go-Go Mart, we'll sort of work our way west to east.
Okay. The interior of the grocery store is dark, obviously, and it has a smell of musty decay.
Yeah.
If you want to give me a you can if you want to give me a scrounging roll each or a search roll, whichever you prefer. So, okay, most of the food's long gone, dried. It's reduced to dried up, multicolored puffballs of bacteria and mold, as you'd expect. It's been 13 years. It actually gives you the impression that it was pretty much cleaned out, pretty systematically. Again, that's not that unusual. It's probably the locals did it not long after the war, the survivors anyway. You know what I mean? One thing you do find interesting on the back dock is an electric forklift.
Huh.
It's probably worth, I mean, you try it out and it doesn't work. The battery's probably long dead on it. It might be worth up to say $500 to somewhere that could fix the battery up. Or you could cannibalize it for parts. Yeah.
Yeah, I
what
mean,
you guys want to do with it?
It would be hard to transport even with the Humvee, I think. But Doc would be very interested in cannibalizing it for electronic parts.
All right, you better give me a scrounging roll, please. In particular for this one. All right, you get. Roll me a D8 and a D10, please. You can roll these.
Wow.
You get you find three electrical and one mechanical. Is what you managed to scrounge out of this. Okay,
Cool, thanks.
that's all right. The Go-Go Mart, small convenience store. It's got 2 gas pumps out front. Unfortunately, they're empty, long gone, as you would expect.
Yep.
The interior is a shambles. Look, most of the shelves have been pulled over. The floor is covered with old magazines. Or you do note that all the adult titles are missing.
Lol.
Again, if you want to give us a scrounging roll, if you'd like, you might find something, you might not. So, 1, 2, 3, 2. No one wants to spend chips. No one else wants to roll. No, there we go. No one else?
No, both the characters I'm playing are old.
Okay. So between you managed to locate a gallon jug of wiper fluid
Oh yeah.
worth about $5.
Write this down, Ben.
Yeah, I'll write it down.
You find two 1 quarts, like a quarter of a quart's a quarter of a pint, I think. Is that memory? Does that sound right for the Americans? American.
A quart
gallon.
Yeah, quart is a quarter of a gallon, which is a liter.
Okay. Oh, there. So 2 1. Yeah, that makes more sense. There's two 1 quart bottles of 10W40 motor oil. That's what I use in my car, actually. 10W40. They're worth about $50 each.
I presume that Max doesn't want them to go anywhere but into her Humvee.
Possibly not. I don't know. It's it's up to you guys.
How many did you say? 2 of them?
Two. Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, let's just put them in the Humvee for the minute before you use them in your stuff. We can always use it later if needs be. So two quarts of 10W40.
Yeah, 10W40 motor oil. They're worth $50 each.
So you're writing that one down, James?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
There's a small bottle of lighter fluid. That's worth about $10 on the open market normally.
Yep, got it.
Oh, and a real prize, an absolute real prize. It's a 4-roll pack of toilet paper. Do you know how long it's been since you used real toilet paper? That's worth $25.
Nice.
Very nice. It's a nice soft one, not soft and strong. You know, it's even got a slight pattern on it still, and still in its plastic.
Got it.
Yeah. This is basically to give you guys the flavour of the post-apocalyptic world. So I'm assuming you're heading over to the town hall next because obviously Max is rather keen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's what you'd expect in a town hall. It's been pretty thoroughly ransacked. There's not much there to Max's disappointment in terms of stuff for the library. Give me a scrounging roll if you like, guys. Yeah, you really don't.
Yeah.
You really don't find anything of interest, unfortunately. Um,
Max should probably be hooking about there. Somebody
Max
roll
is.
for her.
Yeah, sorry, the two are from me. One's from the second. Sorry, the
Okay.
So Max.
D12s is Max.
Yeah, I figured that. Where do you want to head? The diner or the drugstore?
Drugstore.
Yeah, probably the drugstore.
All right. Look, it's a typical drugstore, and considering it's the only one for 20, 30 miles around, that's how far the next towns are. Look, pretty much, it's been ransacked, it's been gone over. All the anything resembling recreational drugs is certainly gone. There's no first aid supplies. You can be sure they're gone.
Yeah.
It's been torn over. You might find some stuff if you want to scrounge around. Jesse, you find nothing.
I
guys.
find an abundance of nothing.
You find an abundance of nothing. 1, 3. Anyone else rolling?
No,
Jesse has trouble finding the drugstore, never mind its contents.
No one else rolling?
no, it's all good.
Right. So you managed to find a bottle of SPF 15 sunscreen. That's worth about $10 usually.
Do you want to just put that in the Humvee, or can you use any of that, Doc?
Sunblock. Oh, the Doc can use about anything.
Okay, I mean like
Most
chemical
of
stuff.
it should be. Put it in the Humvee for the time being.
Yeah, that's not a chemical component, so.
Or is
No,
it SPF what?
SPS 15 sunblock. It's banana boat, actually.
Do I need to know how many milliliters?
No, it's just a bottle. A bottle. There's a bottle of aspirin. 50 aspirin tablets. That's $15.
Oh yeah, that sounds useful.
You got that one, Doc?
Yeah, okay.
You also managed to find a roll of gauze bandage, which is worth about $20.
Is that kind of thing like useful? I don't quite understand how the medical school works, but is that kind of thing useful for Sarge and Jesse?
Yeah, it is. It is medical supplies.
Yeah, so that going to one of those is probably super useful. And I guess the bottle of aspirin too, I guess, really should go over there.
Yeah. Or you could use it for trade goods. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is how the world works in that regard. The brew and stew, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, typical bar. No alcohol. Place has been all the alcohol bottles are either empty or broken. There's a pool table. It's got a rip basically effectively all the way across it on the diagonal.
This is where James would normally go, "That's okay, I brought my own," and take a swig from Max's hip flask.
There's only one unbroken pool cue, and some of the pool balls are obviously missing. But apart from that, yeah, not much at all. Typical, the mirror behind the bar's been shattered. The stools are overturned. Um, it looks like a bikie joint after the night the day after the night before. You know what I mean? So, the church is a Methodist. Is the Aden Methodist Church? You going in?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's quite a few choir robes and hymnals. There's maybe maybe 3 to 4 dozen hymnals scattered across the floor. There's maybe a dozen choir robes hanging in the place, hanging up in the place.
Hymnals are cut down Bibles. They just have hymns in them. Is that?
Yeah, they're not Bibles, but they're religious songbooks.
Gotcha.
So yeah. There doesn't appear to be much else here. Do you want to scrounge around?
Nah, it's probably okay.
You sure?
Well, I mean, I'm cautious of. Yeah. Okay, fine.
I mean, if
No,
there's a big old like charity bin somewhere, that's pretty obvious.
There was. It's been broken into.
And not one of those prayer plates.
A collection
crap.
plate, you mean?
Nice, Jesse. Nice.
Yeah, nice, Jesse.
Yeah, in the church.
Jess, there are a
Yeah.
couple of loose. There are a couple of loose floorboards under the communion table.
I'll have a hook and see if there's anything below them.
How are you gonna lever these up? They're loose. They're not out. They're not gaping. You'll need something. You'll need a crowbar or a knife or something or a dagger or a sword or something to work them up.
Try my sword and
Yep,
make sure
okay.
I don't damage it.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, you reveals getting up the loose floorboards. They're below them. There's two blackish metallic candlesticks and a blackish metallic plate and goblet, a communion set.
I'll pick them out. Do they look valuable?
Well, they're quite heavy. They're quite heavy. They're brass or something else. They've gone black, so they're tarnished. If you get the tarnish off, you might.
Yeah, I'll try and clean those up. Suppose. Was there any cleaner in any of the stores or the? Suppose not. It's been picked over.
Yeah, there was a little bit of there was a little piece of emery paper in the hardware store that you found. It's part of the general
Okay.
stuff.
I'll have a go cleaning that up then.
Okay. Well, it turns out that the silver sticks, the candlesticks are silver.
Nice.
They're worth about $50 each.
Nice.
And the communion set's also made of silver. It's worth about $100 worth of silver. If you can find a preacher, or even better, one of the blessed, if there are any left, they might even be worth more to someone like that. But just from a silver content, they're worth about that much.
I don't know whether I'm metagaming, but yeah. I don't know whether it's worth keeping on to silver for bullet making purposes later on.
Well, that's also a possibility, yeah. Well, if the old legends are true, silver would be good against the Fae, vampires, werewolves, things like that. The question is, do those things exist?
Knowing this game as a player, probably.
Now that is metagame.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good find, Jesse.
The doctor's office. The doctor's office. The door's been kicked in, and obviously the door around the lock, or the area around the lock's shattered. Do you want to have a search through? It's not a search through, a scrounge through.
Yeah.
All right, so all the medical cabinets have been broken into and
Yes.
looted completely. There's just nothing there. Even the I don't know about you, but my doctor has a bookcase in his office with medical text in it.
Mm-hmm.
Even they're gone.
Yep.
So Max is not happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the supply closet in the back, you find 200 tongue depressors.
That's wooden sticks, basically.
Yeah. A box of latex gloves and a stethoscope.
Cool. Somebody writing these down, by the way.
Now, what they're worth, who knows? I think they're the mere matter of what you can get for them, depending on who wants them. So, to a Medico, they're probably worth something. To everybody else, they're probably not. So, it's going to be really a matter of haggling that one. There's no fixed price on. There's no standard price in inverted commas on those. Okay.
Yep.
Did somebody write them down?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Heading over to the Harding's tractors, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm not silly.
You're rather keen, are you, Doc?
Yes, I am.
Look, it's pretty. It's a tractor dealership, tractor dealership. It's pretty well. There's nothing there. There's a rusty combine in the back. That's about it. Do you want to have a look at anything in particular?
I'd still want to check out the rusty combine. See.
Alright. Well, the engine appears to have been stripped of usable parts.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to get something if you do some junker stuff. If you do if you give me a scrounging roll.
Okay, let's do it.
Do you want to spend any tips on that?
No, I'm fine.
Sure. In that case, no, you don't manage to recover anything.
It's depressing as the doctor's office.
Tongue depressing.
Somebody made the connection. Yeah.
I got you. I just wasn't going to say it.
All right, cool. Thanks. I think the only
the realty place is about the only place you haven't been so far.
And the house.
Oh, and the house. Yeah, the house looks pretty deserted from the outside, but yeah. So it's definitely getting on towards dark by now too. By the way.
Yeah. Have we found an obvious place that would be the best place to stay?
Let's try the house.
Yeah, probably.
The house is the most. The house is probably the most logical. The Go Mart, which would be the most defensible? Probably the church would be the most defensible. Although the glass windows at the back might be a bit open. The Brew and Stew might be another place that might be worthwhile. Or the doctor's office. Although the doctor's office had its door kicked in, so
I guess the
realty place you haven't checked out yet, and the house you haven't checked out yet.
My only question would be whether the Humvee can fit into the tractor place.
Yeah, you probably could.
Just because I know Max is very precious about her Humvee and wouldn't want it out in the open. But yeah, I guess that's my only concern other than sleeping.
Would you be thinking of sleeping in the same building as the Humvee, or would you be thinking of securing the Humvee in the tractor dealership and then maybe going somewhere else?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think Max would want to be too far away from the Humvee, so that might limit our choices. It's a shame that James isn't here because he's normally pretty good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's. I
Well,
mean, I guess we should go up to the house and see if there's any good place to park the Humvee up there.
yeah, there's you can have a look around. So yeah, well, the realty place on the way there's not much to it. It's a typical realty place, offices. I mean, you know, the chances of actually finding a bed anywhere, the only place of finding a bed would be
Yeah.
the residence. But there's plenty of dry, relatively clean places in most of the other buildings to bed down if you don't mind bedding down inside, which is better than bedding down outside because it is what I say, November, October, September.
Ooh, spicy. Yep.
And you are in Northern California, and you're in the mountains or up high, so it's not, it's not. And of course, the temperature of the whole world is up since since Judgment Day. So, but you're probably better off being inside than out. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. So you make your way to the Gilchrist residence. Although the residence, you don't know it's Gilchrist residence, but the residence. When you get there, there is a sign on the door saying Gilchrist's, so that's how you know it's a Gilchrist residence.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Victorian style house. Part of the roof and part of the upper floor have collapsed. And to be honest, most of the rest of the house isn't in much better shape.
Gotcha.
You're going inside to having a look around, or
Yeah, we should check it out.
Who did we just lose?
who's open face?
Open face? What?
Is that you, Chris? Yeah, Chris.
It's
We've lost
open
Chris.
Yeah, we definitely
up?
lost a player from Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, your
yeah, I
characters.
dropped.
You dropped. Yeah, that's it. We're just trying to work out who it was.
Do that.
Don't know. Just try and join back in. Happens. There you go. Here you come. So give me a scrounging roll for the house, everyone who's there, please.
Those D4s are really paying off.
Yeah, or they don't.
Yeah.
It seems to be one or the other, like a 2 and a 3, or 27 or something.
Okay, hang on a sec.
Yeah, I was starting to really get annoyed about the D4s, but I think if I had like 4 or 5 D4s, that might actually be useful.
Yeah, well, you
Mm.
got more. I mean, you got more chance of a D4 exploding than any other type of die, just on sheer percentages.
D1.
Yeah, well, you don't have D1s. We don't do D2s. So, to you. Okay, so you don't find anything of interest in terms of scrounging in the house. However, Jesse, you do in your searching of the upstairs of of the area upstairs that hasn't collapsed. When you enter one of the bedrooms upstairs, you surprise a couple of kids. There's a boy of maybe 12 to 14, and there's a girl of mainly around about 17, 18, 19, something like that. The boy's got he's wearing a dirty t-shirt and a pair of ragged jeans.
Sitting atop a pile of men's magazines.
No.
Okay.
It's not a self-portrait.
Yeah. The young girl, she's rather attractive. Blonde hair, blue eyes. She's a bit on the scrawny side. She's got a black busty hair and a tight leather miniskirt, which seems a little bit out of place in terms of survivor clothing. So yeah,
That's an evening.
they're frightened of you. They're scared shitless. Don't hurt us, please don't hurt us. Oh, no, we didn't do anything. We don't have
I'm
anything.
not going to hurt you. Relax.
Right? The boy's step takes a half pace in front of the girl. There's a family resemblance there, probably brother and sister. And he obviously,
What are you guys doing here? This town seems deserted, apart from you guys.
yeah, that's us. Yeah. We've lived here ever since um, our parents died with our blind grandfather. We live in the cellar. We were up here scouting um, for things, and we heard we heard your car. So we trying to see what you've been doing and hiding, and you know.
Yeah, no, we're just looking for stuff. We're not looking to cause trouble. We're just looking for somewhere to stay.
You, who are you?
We're travelers.
Where are you travelling to?
Uh,
It's the young boy that seems to be doing more of the talking here.
we're on our way to Boise.
Wow. Uh, you're not going to hurt us at all?
Nope, nothing to fear from us.
In fact, are any of you hurt? We've got some people who can make you feel better if needed.
Could do with some food, but no, we're all right.
Doc's muttering off in the corner. You know what? Last time we were being nice to people in a strange
Mhm.
house.
Especially children.
You're gonna get bit again, Six.
Yeah.
All right, well, give me some scrutinised rolls then, will you?
Yeah, I'm just
Choose to disbelieve.
I'm just being Doc's cautious, paranoid self.
If you want to give me some scrutinised rolls, go ahead.
All right, I'll do it. Garbage.
They're telling the truth.
Yeah, all right.
Well, did you say you live with your grandfather? We'd like to meet him.
Yeah, sure. He's if you're willing to share some of your food, we'll share some of ours. You know, make a bill. You know, change the diet type thing. Come on down. And they start heading towards the stairs. Assuming you're not going to accost them at any point.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
So they head downstairs and they
Not until we turn into undead abominations.
Yeah. They go outside and head around the back to a set of storm cellar doors, and then head down into the storm cellar.
Okay, I go to the storm cellar doors and knock. Say hello, coming in.
So come on in, says an older voice, older male voice.
I head on down the stairs.
All right. So when you get down there, hang on a sec. There's a weather-beaten guy, probably in his late 50s, maybe early 60s. He's got wrinkled, leathery skin. It looks like he spent basically a life outdoors. He's wearing jeans, heavy biker boots, and a seedy t-shirt. He's also got a bandana over his eyes, and he carries a cane. And he does that. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen a blind person. They've got their head slightly cocked to the side, and they're moving their head back and forth like they're trying to locate things almost by sound. You know, you ever seen someone do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's doing basically. Um, the cellar itself, there's a king size bed in one corner, pretty old, and there's an old mattress um, in the opposite corner. Um, in the corner closest to the door is a stack of firewood and a few jugs of water. And there's an old-fashioned potbelly wood stove, which is set to vent out one of the windows um, of the cellar. It's a pretty nice little setup for a family like this. In terms of what it is, it's pretty rough and ready though as well.
Yeah,
Um,
most things are at this point.
yeah, yeah. Um, hello, says the old guy, the old blind guy. Um,
Evening. We're just passing through. Met your family here. Uh, Seems like a pretty nice setup you've got yourselves here.
yeah, it's not bad. My name's sorry.
You don't feel
My name.
obliged to do
Oh
the voice.
no, I'm not. I'm trying not. I'm trying not to burp in your ears. There we go. My name's please don't laugh. My name's John Johnson. He says with a slight chuckle. My father had a sense of humour. Apparently, he says wryly. And these are my grandchildren, Caleb and Marley.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Jesse. Jesse Davenport. These are my
And
associates. We're just passing through. It's Maxine. Is our driver. We've got Taylor. We've got the doc. Six and Sarge.
Pleased to be meeting you.
mhm.
We've
Well,
mentioned something about potentially pooling our food and having a little bit of a buffet.
yeah, yeah. By all means, come in and join us. I've got some venison stew. I'm in the process of making it. Um, if you've got something to go with it, that would be great. Please come in and join us.
Yeah, we'll break out whatever we've got. I'm not
Hmm.
sure we've got it written down anywhere.
That's all right.
Is there anything we can do to help around the house, maybe?
No, I think we're pretty well right for firewood and that. If you've got anything worth trading, food or tools and things like that, we'll see what we can come up with. But you know, a bit of news wouldn't hurt either. We're pretty isolated here, so yeah.
I'm not sure we should really share the news of what's just happened to us.
Well, you could use your storytelling to tell a story if you wanted to, but whatever story you wanted to tell, that's up to you.
So the
Um,
fragile ears in the room probably would do better not to hear anything too scary.
Probably not. Dinner's quite coming on quite. It smells good. Um, um, you know, while John's getting dinner ready, young Caleb drags out some old enamel plates and cups and that. Um, you know those deep dish camping plates. They're almost like bowls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, for people like that. I don't know what you guys are breaking out. I'm assuming you break some stuff out. Um,
I
yeah,
assume
Whatever our
everybody
standard
has
things are.
mess
yeah,
kits and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. That's what I thought.
Do I have any
Uh,
radioactive material on me?
I don't think so. Why would you?
Oh, because I can eat that.
Yes, I know you can eat it, but why would you? That's just showing off, Taylor. Can I get, please, a couple of things? First of all, can I get look, spot checks is probably best. Can I get spot checks of everybody, please? So Doc was the first one to roll that.
I think Max
Was it?
was. At least in
Sorry, that was 6.
Which one? Max? Hang on. Oh, yeah. So that's you. Is it 6?
Yeah.
All right. Who hasn't rolled yet? I've only got 3.
Sarge hasn't rolled, just doing it now.
Oh, there, and
And
there are the
that's
others.
Max.
And Taylor's got it. Okay. All right. That's the first one. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's the one I was waiting for. All right. Can I also get look? Can I get another round? Can I get another round of spot checks off everybody, please? Okay. All right. There we go. Can I have 6 and Taylor over to the private room, please?
User left your channel. User left your channel. User left your channel.
Why do I get the impression shit's about to hit the fan?
Yeah, always. If it happens again, Archie's never going to talk to anybody new ever again.
Yeah, Jesse's kind of a trusting sort of a soul.
Oh, no.
Gullible is? Yeah.
Well, I see that Lucas has been brave. He has the heroic hindrance on Sarge, which is pretty brutal in this setting, I think.
Oh, yeah. I decided not to take that one on the...
Yeah, I figure. I mean, it's up to Lucas to form Sarge properly, and not me. So I've been trying to play it fairly plain, but yeah, hindrance is a stubborn, superstitious, heroic, and a mild hankering for cigarettes. Nice. And he also hasn't written any of the witch stuff on his character sheet, so I have no idea how to play like half of this character. But I know it exists, and he's got 5 in witchcraft, so it's obviously a pretty big part of the character. I don't like that this private conversation is taking so long.
So, the fact that I got to spend some bounty makes me feel slightly better about Jesse.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, although I think there's a few more things he needs to throw a few points at to become mediocre.
Yeah, I definitely need to take my deafness from D6s to D8s. Because having D6 in shooting is just garbage. I also wonder whether, given I got D12s in knowledge, whether it's worth someone teaching me a bit of medicine and picking that up. Because healing just seems so much more brutal in this setting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've put the points in it because I had to take medicine.
Yep. Yeah.
I will eventually be going for trying to pump that as high as I can, but there are other things that need points too.
Yeah. I think it's more that if I've got 5 there and D12s, It's kind of pretty good, and it's way cheaper than my med packs because those med packs are really expensive. But the great thing about the med packs is that I can use them in combat. They take 2 actions. So if somebody really gets messed up mid-fight, that's what they're really useful for.
Yeah, I suspect that's what they're actually for.
Yeah. They're really, they're not meant to be out of combat healing. I don't think they're really meant to be. Oh shit. Can you do any of the general medicine in combat, or is it too slow?
It's too slow, really.
Yeah. Is the exception to that the rules that we never play?
User joined your channel.
Oh, James, is everybody coming back?
No, Chris is staying for a bit.
Yeah, the rules that we never play, like the rolling stun checks and waking people up from stun checks. I don't know what.
Possibly.
I'm glad that we don't play that
Can you
rule.
imagine if we were playing those?
Yeah, I'm very glad that we don't play that rule. It's brutal. Because it's every wound above critical that you have to take a stun check. And there's another one about bleeding out and gradually taking wind damage when you have a certain wound level. We don't play that rule either, which is good. There's a couple of rules there that we don't play, and it would just make it so much more harder if we did.
Is this from a mechanics point of view?
Yeah, the stun checks and the bleed. There's a bleeding rule for having critically or whatever the level 4 injuries are.
Right.
Because it's like a vigor check, and if you fail it, then you have no actions.
User joined your channel.
Right.
So it takes about an hour to cook dinner. Everything goes on pretty okay. You do note that the windows to the cellar are blackened with what appears to be just black wall paint. Stops any light from in here getting out, just in case there is some bad guy outside. And when talking about that, um, John and the kids both say more or less that no, we hardly anyone through here. Occasionally, we get travellers like yourselves. The road gangs come through every now and then, and they go through the place like you did. A year or two ago, a large gang came through and stayed for a couple of days over at the Brew and Stew and did a lot of damage, breaking bottles and glasses and things. But that was. But they didn't actually check in. They didn't find. So just general chit chat, asking what's been going on with you guys. The general indication is there's nothing. It's pretty well deserted around here. They see traffic maybe once a month, if that. Yeah.
Yeah, we almost didn't come this way ourselves. There's just been a landslide up north that's blocked the road.
That's interesting. Okay, says John. Didn't know that. Thanks. Not that we're going to be travelling anywhere. We haven't got anywhere to travel.
Yeah, you might get a bit more traffic coming through this way.
Right. Thanks for the warning. You hear that, kids? Yes, Granddad. Yeah. So yeah. What?
Oh, it just Doc is suspicious.
Oh, you're always bloody suspicious.
All right, is it time for grub?
Yeah, it's time for grub. The kids tuck in, as does John. I'm assuming you guys do the same.
Um,
Yeah.
just out of interest, do we see the rest of the venison? Like, is there a deer
Yeah,
carcass somewhere?
there's a rear shank.
And it's clearly deer.
Oh yeah, it's clearly deer. It's a deer
Okay,
shank.
good.
It's not human. Yeah, I assume that's where your brain was going.
It was.
Yeah, no, it's definitely deer. It doesn't taste like pork either. It tastes like deer,
Not long pork.
not long pork.
Yeah, and with Archie's survival knowledge, he looks at the carcass and isn't concerned at all.
You can give me a roll if you like.
Yeah, okay. Let me just check what that is.
Mm-hmm.
La, 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 la. That's actually Archie.
Right. Okay. Look, it's probably about 3 days old. Based on the its texture and consistency, which would be make sense. You're pretty sure these guys aren't going to be able to eat it all before it goes off. Certainly hasn't been smoked or anything else like that. It doesn't seem to be fly blown, which is probably a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's only about a day, maybe 2 days left, based on the three of them before it'll be at the point where it's no longer particularly safe to eat. Again, people are a little less conscious, a little less concerned about the consistency and the freshness of meat these days because it's so hard to come by. It's more what used to happen back in Captain Cook's day in the revolutionary time. People were more likely to eat fly blown meat and cut the fly blow out of it.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So it's that type of situation. Again, this is 13 years after the Judgment Day. So yeah, but no, it's meat. Where the rest of it is, who knows? It's probably been eaten by now, but that's an awful lot of meat to eat in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, did one of you guys trap it or shoot it? I see, you're carrying around that rifle.
I shot it, says Marley, with a sense of pride.
Good job.
And I butchered it, said Caleb. Unfortunately, we can only carry this much, but we only carry the haunch back with us. It was too big otherwise. Besides, we can't eat that much between now and before it'll go off. Young Caleb seems like most 10 to 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds. He seems to be. He's quite full of himself. You know what I mean? Quite,
And I chopped it up.
Yeah, that type of thing. Yeah. He seems like a nice. Actually, they both seem like nice kids. John seems quite nice too, actually, for an old guy. He's a little rough around the edges, but I mean that's bringing up two kids after the war by himself in a place like this. That's not that surprising. You know what I mean? The kids are very respectful of the old man. Very respectful of the old man. So yeah. All right. Can I get everybody to give me a vigor check, please?
Here we go.
Here we go. What?
Here we go.
The poison.
Here we go.
The poison. There's no poison.
There were
Sorry,
some
Joel.
delicious herbs in that.
Bloody hell.
Stew. Oh, was that? Oh, okay, I'm good.
You hope. Yeah, you're good. I think Taylor's turning into a little bit of a Sister Gabriella.
Just with high rolls.
Yeah, high rolls. Is that everybody?
No, that first one, the first one that says Doc is actually Sarge, and this one is Doc.
I
And
think
that's
I
yours.
pass.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot the K, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I will explain more fully later, but for the time being, Jesse,
Yeah.
take off 6 points of wind, please. That second roll, that you said that was Sarge, did you, Doc?
Yeah.
Okay, Sarge can lose 6 points of wind as well. 6, you can lose 3 points of wind. Max, you can lose 6 points of wind. And Taylor and Doc are A-OK.
In fact,
Okay.
it rejuvenated me.
Yeah, no, not quite. Also, from now on, everyone's got a -2 penalty to all rolls. So just note that for yourself on your sheets.
Everybody, including those that are good.
Everybody, including those who are good.
Put it in the modifier box.
You're all feeling groggy, dopey, groggy. Some of you more than others. Hence the wind.
I should have mentioned the herbs in the stew.
So we're going to leave it there on that cliffhanger because we are at time. Okay, which is why I said note those on your sheets just temporarily.
Doc,
is everybody okay to leave that there?
Yep.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, guys, thanks for playing. Thanks for watching those, everybody. And we'll see everybody in 2 weeks' time. If you want to roll those credits, Ben, that would be fantastic. Well, that's it for this session. We hope you enjoyed the game as much as we did. We'd like to thank Spikeworks, Sirenscape and Twitch, and of course all of the fantastic people involved with the Deadlands and Deadlands Hell on Earth RPG over the years. I'm Dulux Oz, and on behalf of the entire gaming group, we'd like to say thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time. Until then, may your God go with you.